Hello and welcome inside Ray Fisher Stadium for another presentation of WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan baseball. It's the home opener here in Ann Arbor, Michigan for Michigan baseball's 2021 season. And they're taking on the Illinois Fighting Illini. I'm Alex Drain, joined by Stevie McGregor here in Ann Arbor, also streamed on BTN Plus for video as well. And it's an exciting pitching matchup here today between these two teams. Steve Hadger is on the mound for the Wolverines up against Andrew Hoffman for the Illini. And Hoffman and Hadger, both legitimate MLB draft prospects, both in the top 100 of a number of big boards by different scouts, projected in the top 3 or 4 rounds of the upcoming MLB draft. And both have been very good to begin this season. It should be a fun one today.
Yep, it's beautiful baseball weather. I mean, it is only 40 degrees out, but it is sunny. It's just perfect, as one would say. And yes, we have probably both teams' aces on the mound, so this should be we're expecting maybe a bit of a lower scoring game in this one, as two of the best pitchers probably in the Big Ten face off.
Hadger, the lefty on the mound for Michigan, has been dominant in 2 starts so far this season. He had the ACL injury back in 2019 that caused him to miss his freshman season. That was the campaign where Michigan baseball ended up in Omaha in the College World Series, but he only got to play a little bit last year, obviously, with the COVID suspended season. But in what he did get to do, 4 starts last year at a 2.70 ERA, was dominant, including 6 shutout innings against the top 25 Arizona State team. That endeared him to MLB scouts, and he has followed it up so far this season with 2 more dominant outings. Michigan enters the game at 7-1 on the season. Illinois at 4-4. Hadger's doing his warm-up pitches right now, and Michigan, as you mentioned, it's a bright and sunny day, a little chilly, but as long as the sun is up, shouldn't be too cold.
Yep, it's great matchup here. I mean, Illinois coming in at 4-4 hasn't had the start to the season that they would like, taking a couple of tough losses to Ohio State, one in extra innings, and then one by just 1 run. So the Fighting Illini definitely have a good bit of fight in them.
And we're just about ready to go. Taylor Jackson steps in the batter's box, center fielder for Illinois, and he'll take the first pitch from Hadger, a little down and away there. And Hadger stands on the mound tall, lifts his arms up, and then gets ready for the second delivery. Illinois wearing the away orange uniforms, orange tops rather. There's another ball, 2-0 to begin this at-bat. Illinois enters the game, as Stevie mentioned, 3-1 against Minnesota, 1-3 against Ohio State, for 4-4 overall to begin their campaign. 2-0 on the way. There's a strike. And Michigan at 7-1, 3-1 against Iowa, and then 4-0 against Purdue. 2-1 on the way. There's a swing and a miss. They say foul tip into the glove. 2-2.
Yeah, and so far this season, Michigan's been kind of dominating all facets of the game, and they'll look to continue that today.
2-2 count. We do have some fans in attendance. They're sitting in front of us on the third baseline. 2-2 on the way. Got him on the outside corner for a strike 3. And there's a first strikeout for Hadger to get this one underway. 1 out.
And Hadger getting to work right away after dialing it in, maybe a little shaking off the nerves a little bit. I mean, as this is his first game pitching at Ray Fisher Stadium, but he came right back, 3 straight strikes, strike him out.
So now, batting second, Danny Dolagale steps in the batter's box. We have a quick time called, as there is a ball that has gotten into the outfield, I think from the bullpen, trickled into the left field corner. Having to run over there was Tito Flores to pick it up and toss it back out of play. Now we're ready to go. First pitch to Dolagale on the way. Squares around for a bunt and then takes it in the dirt. Ryan Hampy on deck. That's 1-2-3 to begin the day for the Fighting Illini. Illinois last full season was 2019. They finished third in the conference at 15-9. Michigan was second, losing the regular season title in heartbreaking fashion to Indiana. There's a strike from Hadger, 1-1. The two teams did not meet in the regular season, but they did meet in the Big Ten tournament in Omaha. That, of course, was probably Michigan's most dramatic game before their postseason run in the tournament. There's a pitch high, 2-1. It came down to the final at-bat of the game. Jordan Wogu was in the batter's box, and potentially if he had gotten out in that situation and Michigan lost that game, they may not have made the NCAA tournament. Instead, he stroked a game-winning extra base hit, scoring 2 runs to propel Michigan forward. 2-1 on the way. There's a swing and a chopper up the middle, snag there, and a quick flip over for a 6-3 putout. 2 up, 2 down for Hadger there. And it's Sems with the putout.
And so far, Hadger's is making it look really easy. He's looked like he's locating his pitches well, not really giving these Indiana hitters much stuff out over the plate. He's worked very well low in the zone and on the corners.
2 outs now for Illinois in the top of the second. Ryan Hampe in the batter's box. Catcher batting third. The interesting thing about this Illinois team, when you look at their stats, as Hampe steps in batting .367 on the season, is that Illinois, over the past number of years, have traditionally been a pitching school, not a hitting school, as there's a ball taken by Hampe. And you look at their teams in recent years, always good pitching, but this year it's a bit of a reversal. The team ERA sitting over 4, team whip of 1.37, but it's the hitters who have been bludgeoning opponents, scoring over 6 runs per game in the early going. There's a strike, 1-1. Illinois finished 6th in the preseason Big Ten poll. Michigan was picked as the preseason favorite for the conference. 1-1 on the way. That one bounces in, gets away from the catcher. Michigan's defense has Molfetta at third, Sems at short, Bertram at second, Obertop at first. That's the infield left to right. Flores, Bullock, and Elliott outfield left to right. And Mazer as the catcher. There's a swing and a miss on a high strike. Now 2-2.
And so far, this Illinois lineup just hasn't really been able to figure out that heater. Haven't really seen any good swings early on it.
Just one ball in play, and it was a chopper to short. 2-2 on the way. Swing and a foul right back over the screen and out of play. Michigan players in the dugout all standing on the top step, watching intently as Hadger, their Friday starter, is on the mound to begin this top of the first inning. He sat down 2 Illini, looking to get a 1-2-3 first. Winds up 2-2 on the way. And just missed the plate, 3-2.
And Michigan employing a shift here for Hampe, as we see shortstop Benjamin Sems almost playing a second third baseman role.
Now they're pulling him tight. 3-2 on the way and a foul back. Good at bat now from Hampe, and as we mentioned, off to a hot start to this season, .367 hitter, pair of doubles, and a home run in the early going. They've got Cam McDonald on deck. He's got 8 RBIs to lead the team. He'd like an opportunity to hit with runners in scoring position if Hampe can do something here. There's a strike 3. Got him looking, and that will do it for a 1-2-3 first inning for Steve Hadger. And now we'll see the Illinois defense and pitching staff go out there in the Michigan offense. It'll be Andrew Hoffman for the Fighting Illini to take the mound, and we're going to give you a little bit of a look at Andrew Hoffman. He's had an interesting career up to this point. He's an Illinois native, pitched 2019 at Oakland. Didn't do terribly well, but then he went off to the Northwoods League, the college summer baseball league that covers sort of the Midwest, and was absolutely dominant there. And then he went to the JUCO level, playing at Logan Community College, and absolutely dominated there as well last season. And then he transferred to his home state, School of Illinois, and so far so good for him. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts against Ohio State, and then 6 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, not earned, 9 strikeouts against Minnesota. And he has put his name in MLB draft conversations as he takes the mound here today.
Yeah, and as Alex mentioned, he's got 17 strikeouts over 13 innings. So, I mean, just some overpowering stuff out of Hoffman.
Go through the Michigan batting order. Jake Marti leads off. Christian Molfetta, then Tito Flores, Griffin Mazer, Clark Elliott, Jimmy Obertop, Benjamin Sims, Riley Bertram, and then Christian Bullock. One of the storylines for this Michigan team is that the last time the fans saw this team at Ray Fisher, they looked very different. That was 2 years ago in 2019, that team that made the magical run to the College World Series championship round against Vanderbilt. Pretty much entirely different. Their starting rotation is completely different as Jeff Criswell and Kaufman and Henry have all departed, and a new rotation for the Wolverines led by Hatcher, who we saw in the top of the first inning. And the same thing for the lineup. A lot of the old faces, whether it's Jimmy Kerr or Jordan Wogu, they are all departed as well. The only sort of starter from that team in the lineup left is Christian Bullock, and he was not an every-game starter. He's batting 9th in the lineup today. Everybody else is a little different. Riley Bertram got to play a little bit in that postseason run, but otherwise this is a very, very different Michigan team with the turnover in 2 years of change. But they've still got Eric Bakich in the dugout, and he's differentiated himself as one of the best coaches in college baseball, and he's where the stability comes from. Has recruited very well, and that's why this Michigan team was picked as the media preseason favorite to win the Big Ten Baseball Conference.
Yeah, and so far Michigan has backed up that preseason pick. And
they are leading the conference at 7-1.
Yeah, they've just been very good throughout their 8 games so far.
So here's Jake Marti. Steps into the batter's box. There's a pitch high, 1-0 from Hoffman. Marti enters this game and is hitting .320 on the season. There's he swings and hits that one. It's going to be gloved by the shortstop. Quick flip over. It's not going to be in time. Comia got to it, but the speed of Marti gets down the line. It'll be an infield single, and Michigan gets the leadoff runner on here in the bottom of the first.
Great start for Michigan. Second pitch of the game, getting something in play, hitting it to the right spot, and then just legging it out. And I mean, getting base runners against Andrew Hoffman it's a difficult thing to do. So Michigan would like to do it as early and often if they could.
Now Christian Molfetta will step into the batter's box. First pitch on the way, takes it for a strike on the outside edge. Over there at first is Marti, waiting to see if Michigan might try and run a little bit. Marti is 3 for 4 on stolen base attempts this season. There's a wave and a miss and a pitch that bounced into the dirt. Now 0-2.
And Christian Molfetta is characterized by his disciplined plate approach, as he already has 6 walks on the season compared to only 7 strikeouts.
Yep.
Which is very impressive this early in the year.
0-2 count. And he swings and fouls that one back. Molfetta, contact hitter, but had a home run against Purdue. Transferred from Stanford, one of 5 grad transfers that Eric Bakich added to the roster in the offseason, as well as Benjamin Sims. Griffin Mazer will be coming up later in the lineup. Mazer is in the hole at the moment. Tito Flores on deck. Hoffman looks the runner Marti back. Now will step back on the rubber, shrug the shoulders, holds the glove on his left thigh, the right-hander, peers in, winds up, and there's a swing and a miss. And that'll be a strikeout. Hoffman collects his first K of the day.
And Hoffman went right at Molfetta, giving him nothing but fastballs there. Just kind of trying to overpower him, and he was able to succeed.
Now Tito Flores will step into the batter's box. Flores, one of several players on this roster, is a recent recruit. And now the runner goes, swing and a miss, throw on down, and it got away, goes into the outfield, and headed to third is Marti, and he'll get in there safe.
And it looked like it was a hit and run, but I mean, Michigan will definitely take that.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss from Flores, but still able to get that runner on down to third base.
Yeah, it did appear to be a hit and run, but he waved and missed. But regardless, Marti gets down there. That will probably be scored as a stolen base and then an error. Not sure who the error will be on, waiting for the scoring decision there. But 0-1 the count on Flores. Now he's got a scoring opportunity, and he swings and hits this one into the outfield, into right field. McDonald sizing it up, is going to make the catch. We're going to have a play at the plate, and there will be no play. The throw is way offline, and trotting home is Marti. It'll be a sacrifice fly for Flores, and Michigan takes the 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first.
And Michigan doing a great job of manufacturing a run there, as a nice infield single, and then a stolen base and an error gets a guy on third. And then what do you do? Just get something in the outfield, deep enough into the outfield to get him home.
Yep.
Just great baseball from U of M here.
So Michigan takes the 1-0 lead. Now that'll bring up Griffin Mazer to step in the batter's box. Mazer is another one of those transfers. He is from UC Irvine. And he waves and misses on the first pitch he sees from Hoffman. Mazer at 297, 419 for a 795 OPS in 2019 at Irvine. Now he's come to Michigan, and he's hit 3 home runs in the first 8 games, which is already tied a career high, including a grand slam in the series against Iowa. 0-1 on the way is down and outside, 1-1. And, of course, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the context of the manufacturing of the run here in this inning, very important given the power stuff of Hoffman and how stingy he's been in his 2 Big Ten starts so far. Michigan will need all the runs they can get, and they've capitalized here. 1-1 on the way, down and outside, 2-1. Clark Elliott waiting on deck if necessary with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first, and the base is now empty. Hoffman winds up. Pitch on the way, down and outside, 3-1.
And so far, Hoffman's been able to locate that fastball very well, but his off-speed stuff hasn't looked quite up to snuff so far.
Hitters count for Mazer. The windup and the pitch. There's a swing and a high pop-up, then it'll go out of play. The acquisition of Mazer to fill the hole behind the plate, particularly important because of the nature of the COVID situation. Michigan lost a number of players to the draft and seniority, and obviously losing some huge players like Joe Donovan behind the plate, being able to get a plug-and-play guy with a lot of experience like Mazer as a grad transfer, very crucial for Eric Bakich. 3-2 on the way, and he swings and misses on that one. So Hoffman collects a pair of strikeouts, but Michigan gets an infield single, and they end up bringing him around with help from a stolen base, an error, and a sac fly from Tito Flores. And the score is 1-0 Wolverines after 1 here at Ray Fisher Stadium. You're listening to Michigan Baseball on WCBN Sports.
Yeah, and, I mean, Michigan's got to be very happy with that start. I mean, not really putting great swings on the ball per se, but I mean at least working the count, great situational hitting, and I mean just great stuff so far. And I mean just getting a run for your ace, I mean you feel very confident when you got Steve Hazar on the mound. Getting him a run early. I mean he sat down the Illinois lineup with relative ease in the first, so you look to get them some run support, and I mean they did that to perfection.
Of course, this Friday afternoon game taking place during the first day of the NCAA basketball tournament. I'll read you a few scores as we get ready for this top of the second. Texas Tech defeated Utah State 65-53. Illinois defeats Drexel. That may be relevant if there are any Illini fans listening to this broadcast. 78-49. Arkansas held off Colgate 85-68. Florida defeated Virginia Tech 75-70. And the big score at the moment, Oral Roberts, a 15 seed, leading 2-seeded Ohio State 45-42 in the mid-stages of the second half there. We will keep you updated on the scores as this broadcast rolls along here on WCBN Sports. Illinois trailing 1-0, headed in to this second inning, and Hadger getting his warm-up pitches in. Was a quick 1-2-3 inning for the lefty. Hadger is really the pillar of stability in this Michigan pitching rotation, which obviously was the strength of the team when they made the College World Series a couple of years ago, and especially because Michigan lost their pitching coach in the offseason. Chris Fetter signed to be the pitching coach of the Detroit Tigers, taking a promotion to the major league ranks. There's a first pitch, a little high to Cam McDonald, and basically a lot of young arms. Jacob Denner will probably see a game this weekend. Blake Beers slated to go on Monday. There's a strike, 1-1. McDonald, for this Illinois team, leads them in RBI, but he won't have a chance to get one here unless he puts it over the fence. There's a swing and a miss, or a foul tip rather, 1-2. McDonald, 270 on the season in the early going, 308 on base, 3 doubles. McDonald, one of the 3 holdovers from the starting lineup from 2 years ago. 1-2 on the way. There's a swing and a ground ball over to third. Gloved, quick couple steps, and then a throw across the diamond by Malfetta for a 5-3 putout to begin the second inning.
And it looked like Malfetta got handcuffed by that ball, got on him quick, but he was still able to field it cleanly and make it look very routine.
Now, that'll bring up Justin Janis, who is off to a scorching start to the season, hitting .400 in the first 8 games for Illinois. Even more impressive, .556 on base, powered by 4 walks and 3 hit by pitches. Swings and fouls the first pitch away there. Again, as we mentioned, this Illinois team has been led by their bats so far this season. So we go back to that Illinois team from a couple of years ago. They made the tournament after they lost in that heartbreaking fashion to Michigan in the Big Ten tournament. They were the 2 seed in the Oxford Regional as Hadger gets ready for the 0-1. There's a ball 1-1, and it was a quick trip to the NCAA tournament, unfortunately, for Illinois. They were the 2 seed in that regional, supposed to be the top challenger to Ole Miss, but they lost to Clemson, the 3 seed. And then in the double elimination loser game, they lost to 4th-seeded Jacksonville State, and they were out. 2 losses and done in the double elimination regional. There's a strike, 1-2.
That was a beautiful pitch from Mazer right there, just painting the outside corner with a curveball.
1 out in this inning. 1-2 on the way. There's a swing and a chopper to short. Sems played it perfectly. High hop, throw across the diamond, and he got him by a step. That's a good play defensively from Benjamin Sems, who was shaded up the middle perfectly. Michigan had the defensive alignment there. Now 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, and that kind of took a weird in-between bounce, but as Alex said, Benjamin Sems was able to play it perfectly and take that high hop and gun it quickly over to first.
So 2 outs now in the inning. Brandon Comia takes a strike. He's one of the other holdovers from that 2019 Illinois team. Hadger's sat down the first 5 Illini he's faced so far. It's a pitch. Misses the zone. 1-1. The Ray Fisher scoreboard is finally updated to 2 outs in the inning. They were a little behind previously. Michigan softball is practicing across the way at Alumni Field right now. There's a strike, 1-2. Michigan softball is going to have to wait a couple more weeks for their home opener. They'll be on the road next weekend, and then they will finally get their home opener after that. Both baseball and softball had to start in remote locations in Big Ten sort of pseudo bubbles in this bizarre season. 1-2 on the way, down and away, 2-2. Softball had to start in Leesburg, Florida. This baseball team was in Round Rock, Texas for the first weekend, and then they were in Greenville, South Carolina last weekend, playing all Big Ten teams. Both the baseball and the softball conferences opted for all Big Ten schedules. 2-2 on the way. Just missed 3-2. Hadger wanted the punch-out looking to close this top of the second, but not going to get it.
And Christian Bullock had come almost all the way into left field. He thought that was strike 3, but not to be, says the umpire.
The windup and the 3-2 on the way, and that's a walk. Nice piece of hitting from Brandon Comia just to work the count and draw a walk. And that'll be a 2-out base runner, the first base runner of the game for the Illini. That'll bring up Jacob Campbell, the DH. Campbell batting 7th. Campbell's a bit of a statistical oddity so far this season as he fouls the first pitch back. Had 13 at-bats in 5 games, 4 starts. He's at 8 hits in 13 at-bats for a sizzling .615 batting average. Of course, very small sample size, and 2 of those 8 hits are homers, which leaves his slugging percentage over 1,000, his OPS close to 1,800. Hot start so far this season for him, and now he's got an opportunity to do damage with a runner on and 2 outs. There's a ball 1-1. First baseman Jimmy Obertop over there at first, holding the runner on. We haven't seen Hadger throw back at all. Comia 2 for 2 on stolen base attempts this season. The windup, and there's a strike. Now 1-2. Mazer says something to the pitcher Hadger and the defense and gets back behind the plate. Campbell taps the plate, cocks the bat over the right shoulder, runner goes. There's a swing and a slow roller over to short. This is going to be a tough play. Charging Sims, throws across the diamond, and he got him in time. That's a nice defensive play from Benjamin Sims. Michigan's looked sharp in the field so far. Hadger surrenders a walk, but nothing more. 1 left, no hits in that top of the second, and Michigan carries the 1-0 lead to the bottom of the second. You're listening to Michigan Baseball on WCBN Sports.
Yeah, and as Alex said, the defense has been excellent through the first 2 innings. I mean, Benjamin Sims has made a number of impressive plays. That one coming in from all the way back, almost a few steps into the outfield and charging on a slow roller to record the final out of that inning.
So Hoffman steps onto the rubber and gets ready for his warm-up pitches to begin this bottom of the second inning. He'll be facing Clark Elliott, Jimmy Obertop, and Benjamin Sims. Pretty good crowd here today, all things considered. I'm not sure if there were fans allowed or if these are all family members. Obviously, a lot of players in the Michigan roster, so could very easily just be all family members. But regardless, good showing and good to have some people in attendance. It'll be interesting to see how attendance policies go as the season rolls along, because state of Michigan health guidelines were updated today to allow more fans into stadiums. The Detroit Tigers, which had announced they were only going to allow around 1,000 or so fans for opening day in a couple weeks, have actually, now with the new guidelines from the state health department, have updated that. They're going to allow close to 10,000 fans for opening day. So we'll see if Michigan Athletics chooses to alter their policies as well. These baseball and softball teams, I have to imagine, would like that, but we'll see. The athletic department has handled things pretty well overall during the course of this bizarre season.
Yes, they've had to handle some strict guidelines, but they've stayed the course pretty well.
There's a strike to Clark Elliott to begin this bottom of the second inning. Clark Elliott is one of the few guys who were able to play last year as a true freshman. Some of the other players like Tito Flores didn't get a ton of time and now is settled into a starting role this year. But Elliott was a starter last year, and there's a swing and a ground ball over to second, gloved, and a quick put out for 3 to begin this bottom of the second inning.
It's been very impressive from both pitchers so far. Only one ball has gotten out of the infield, and we have seen, and we're almost through 2 innings so far, so.
Hadger 2 strikeouts through 2. Hoffman got 2 in the bottom of that first. First pitch to Obertop is high. Obertop, a 9.5 out of 10 on perfect game. Scouting service, ranking him out of high school, very highly touted recruit. He got to play a little bit last season as he takes a strike 1-1. Played in 11 of the 15 games. As a freshman, billed as a hitter, looking for more contact this season. 12 strikeouts at 29 at-bats here in the early going. He makes contact there and hits that one into right field. Moving over towards the wall, and it's gone! A home run! That just kept drifting and tucked itself inside the foul pole. Cam McDonald out there in right field thought he had a play on it and then just ran out of real estate, and Obertop tucks it just inside the right field foul pole over the fence right where it says 320, and Michigan's got a 2-0 lead.
And yeah, that one, as Alex said, just kept carrying. You could see the power of Obertop there. That one looked like it was going to be a routine fly ball, but, he just muscled it out of here. Very impressive, getting his 3rd home run on the season. And it's even more impressive given that he only has 7 hits on the year. That almost nearly half of them are home runs.
That ties him with Griffin Mazer for the team lead. Now Benjamin Sem steps in. He takes a ball to begin the at-bat. As we mentioned, Hoffman, a very stingy pitcher this season. So Michigan already got 2 runs here in the early going. That is the way you defeat a tough hurler, in giving support for Hadger as well. It's another ball outside. Should be 2-0. The Ray Fisher scoreboard is still mixed up right now. It says 3-1 because it was a 1-1 count when Obertop hit that homer. They just haven't adjusted it yet. Now there's a pitch outside. 3-0 is the count. Quick windup, 3-0, and that's high. 4-pitch walk to Benjamin Sems, and Michigan's got a runner aboard with 1 out here in this inning.
Yeah, and it seems as if Hoffman's a little flustered after giving up his first home run of the season.
Yeah, his command's been pretty good so far in this game, but just a little off in that at-bat. Now he'll have a chance to reset against Riley Bertram, playing second base. Bertram, someone that Michigan baseball fans who followed the 2019 run may be a bit more familiar with. He had a moment in the spotlight during that Corvallis Regional when then shortstop Jack Blomgren sustained an injury. I believe it was to his hand, and was unavailable for a couple games, and Bertram had to fill in huge high-pressure games, and he did an admirable job. Now he's a junior, holding down the second base position. It was a highly touted recruit out of Zionsville, Indiana. Hit .208 in the 15 games last season, batting 8th here in the lineup today. The windup in the 1-0, swings and pokes that one, and it drifts well foul out towards the cars. Look out for the people who parked on that side. 1-1 the count.
And one thing that I'm looking at is Ryan Hampy behind the plate on the 2 warm-up throws has wildly overthrown second base, and on the 1 attempt at steal, missed second base as well. So I'm looking for Michigan to keep running and really test his arm.
Good point. 2-1 count. Sems this season has not attempted to steal a base, but obviously only 8 games so far, very small sample size, and being a shortstop, you'd think he has at least some ability to leg it out to second if Michigan wanted him to. 2-1 on the way. That pitch high and outside. 3-1. Command starting to come a little unglued. 7 of the last 8 deliveries have been balls from Andrew Hoffman. Christian Bullock, a definite speedster, waiting on deck.
looks like he's getting cautioned for being too directly behind the plate in the batter's box.
3-1 count, and the runner thought about going, then stepped back. This one popped up in the infield. First and third baseman come over. Third wants it, and it drops just into his glove in a basket catch for Raper, and that'll be 2 outs in the inning. Now, Christian Bullock gets ready to step in. Bullock, the one remaining starter from the 2019 campaign, had a very up and down postseason run with some definite highlights, though, including the Game 3 elimination game in the Super Regional, the Los Angeles Super Regional against UCLA. Had a double, triple, and a walk in that game. There's a called strike, and you have to think that a guy like Bullock, who was around for that run, is invaluable to some of these younger guys like Tito Flores, Jake Marti, Jimmy Obertop, etc. There's a throwback over to first. Obviously, some of the pitchers like Hadger and Ben Gigani were on that team as well. They were not able to play that year due to injuries, as well as some of the bullpen arms, Angelo Smith, Joe Pace. But overall, this is a very new blood type roster, but a few holdovers like Bullock. Able to remember those older days. There's a called strike, and he's quickly behind 0-2 in the count. Runner Sems still at first.
And it looks like Hoffman settled down a little bit after that pop out and has gotten ahead very, very quickly of Christian Bullock.
0-2 count, the windup, and he swings and misses. So that'll do it for the second inning. But Michigan gets another run here in the bottom of the second, and they now lead 2-0 headed to the top of the third. The home run by Jimmy Obertop does the damage, and Steve Hadger will have a larger lead as he heads out for the top of the third. You're listening to Michigan Baseball on WCBN Sports. Michigan leaves one aboard there. They've left one on. Illinois has left one on so far. One error in the game. Michigan 2 runs on 2 hits. Illinois, no runs on no hits, still looking for their first here in the top of the third. Now the practice swings by the whole dugout over on that left field line. Looks like golf swings here today.
Yeah, it looks like the Michigan bench is really enjoying themselves, making the most of this beautiful day.
Well, hard not to enjoy the day when your team is playing well so far in this game and has been playing well so far this season. A lot to be excited about.
Yeah, as a Michigan sports fan, life is good. Michigan baseball so far, so good. Michigan basketball, of course, with the #1 seed in the NCAA tournament, and Michigan women's basketball picking up their highest seed ever as well.
Yep, they will be a 6 seed. Taking on Florida Gulf Coast this weekend down in the bubble in San Antonio. So here we go to begin this third inning. It'll be Jackson Raper to lead things off for the Illini. He's one of those guys who's also off to a hot start this season. .345 batting average, .486 on base, 3 doubles and a long ball for him so far in this campaign. The windup and the first pitch from Hadger is a called strike.
Yeah, and Alex is starting to sound like a broken record with all these Illinois players just raking so far.
That's what's gotten them to their 4-4 record thus far, tied for 6th in the Big Ten. There's a swing and a base hit into center field, and that's the first hit of the game for the Illini. We'll see how Hadger now deals with a leadoff runner for the first time in the game.
And that was a nice piece of hitting there from Raper, as he just stayed on that one, just didn't try to do too much, just let it right back through the box for a nice single.
Now Hadger gets ready to step in. He's the #9 hitter, then it'll flip to Taylor Jackson at the top. 8-9-1 in the third. showing a bunt and pulling it back. We saw Michigan manufacture a run in that first inning with the speed and the timely situational hitting, contact hitting for the sac fly. Illinois, will see if they try and do the same against a similarly very good pitcher for the Wolverines in Hadger. There's a called strike. Now quickly 0-2. Hadger doing well to get ahead of the count.
Scoreboard is a little bit wrong as the umpire's showing 1-1.
Oh, yeah. The Ray Fisher scoreboard guy today has been a little off. Now they correct it. Now there's the second strike. 1-2. Sun continues to shine brightly down on the field. The only real shadows are in center field. That could be a question if someone hits it out towards the 395 sign in dead center where Christian Bullock is currently standing. 1-2 on the way, pitch outside, 2-2. There's also very, very slight shadows coming from light fixtures across the field diagonally in left and then in right center. But those shadows could become a question as the game rolls along later on. But thanks to daylight savings time a week ago, it'll be a lot brighter later on into this game. That one fouled away. 2-2. Sun isn't really going down till after 7, so this game should be able to be played mostly all in daylight. 4 p.m. start. Be 1 p.m., sorry, I think noon tomorrow, and then 4 p.m. again on Sunday. 2 against Illinois, and then 2 against Michigan State. 2-2 on the way. That one fouled out of play. That'll head for the parking lot. Look out to all the cars out there. Michigan State is actually tied with Illinois in the Big Ten standings, so Michigan gets a pair of 4-4 teams this weekend, and Illinois will be playing as well in Michigan State on this weekend, traveling around the area, pick up some games. 2-2 coming is a pitch outside now, 3-2. This has been a good at-bat.
Yeah, Eza's really been able to work the count, fight off some pitches, and I mean, really making Steve Ajar work so far this inning.
3-2 count. Hadger sets, runner goes, and that one is chopped right back to the mound, and only one play over to first. It'll be a 1-3 put out. Over top gloves it. Runner moves up to second. That's a productive at bat, and now we flip to the top with Taylor Jackson and a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, and Heza with basically a swinging bunt there didn't really seem too confident on whether he should swing or not, but did the job just as well.
Smart decision to send the runner there. If he had not been going, they definitely would have had a play to pick off the lead runner at second. Now Taylor Jackson gets ready to step in. Runner on second now, a 2-0 Michigan lead. Hadger hasn't struck anybody out since the first inning. Could be a good time for one here. There's a ball, 1-0.
We see Michigan employing yet another shift here, as for most of these right-handed batters, they've been lining up the second baseman maybe a few steps to the right of second base.
There's a swing and a miss, 1-1. Yep, they're shading up the middle with Bertram, which means Obertop's got a lot of room to cover over on that right side. 1-1 the count. The windup, and you say just a little outside, 2-1. Hadger holds the ball behind his back, sort of at where the belt goes around the trousers, and then puts it back into the glove. Winds up, the 2-1 on the way. There's a swing and a line drive that will drop into right field, a base hit. Rounding first, headed to second is Jackson. Throw in there is not in time. That'll be a double down the right field line. A run comes home, and it's 2-1.
The Illinois bats finally coming alive, and we see them as we see Jackson getting into a nice count, and then just putting a good swing on a ball and poking it out to right field for a double.
That cuts the Michigan lead in half, and Hadger's now got another runner in scoring position to deal with. Dolagale now comes up to bat. The lefty hitter against the lefty Hadger. Now Hampy will come into the on-deck circle. He swings and hits that one foul down the left field side. Now the ball pinballed back into the field of play, and it looks like Joe Pace running out to pick it up before he heads back into the bullpen.
Yeah, it just had to show off the wheels, I guess.
0-1 count. Michigan got runs in the bottom of the first and bottom of the second. Illinois has now got one here in the top of the third. 0-1 on the way. That one swung on and hit arcing, and it will go well foul down the left field side. Now a 0-2 count for Hadger ahead of Dolagale, and this is a big opportunity for him to pick up a strikeout and then get to 2 outs without advancing the runner. Of course, he's got to face Hampy, the very good catcher, on deck. 0-2 coming. Got him looking. Strike 3 call, and there's a big strikeout for his third punch-out of the day.
And 1-2-3 there from Hajar, just sending him down easy.
Now, Ryan Hampy will get ready to step in. 2 outs. And the runner still on second. It was Raper that led off with a single, was moved up to second, and then came home on the Jackson double. Hadger looks in. First pitch is a little in tight. He struck out Hampy looking first time up. That drops Hampy's average down to 355 with the first put out today. He's got 1 home run on the season, a pair of doubles, plenty of power. It may only take a single to tie the game here.
Yeah, especially with the speedy Jackson on base, and he already has 3 steals on the year. Doubt he'll be trying to steal third in this situation, especially with one of their best hitters at the plate.
But he's got the speed to go second to home on a single. Was time called now. Back in the batter's box is Hampy, and Hadger winds up, and he swings and hits that one over to third. Knocked down by Molfetta. It gets away from Sems, but it will stay in the infield. A hard hit ball that Molfetta did well just to get in front of, and it keeps it in the infield. That saves a run, but now runners on the corners for Cam McDonald.
And yeah, as Alex said, I mean, great job just knocking it down and keeping that run from scoring. But
that ball was scorched.
Bit unlucky for Hampy, or not for Hampy, for Hajar to not get out of the inning after producing a ground ball. But
it's definitely not a soft ground ball, though.
Oh, not at all, no.
McDonald now into the batter's box. He was put out by Molfetta his first time up. 5-3 put out to begin the second inning. Now comes up with 2 runners on. Takes the first pitch for a called strike. This is the first stressful inning that Steve Hadger has faced today, trying to preserve the Michigan lead 2-1 at the moment.
Yeah, only 1 walk through 2 innings, but I mean, in this inning, already 2 hits and runners at the corners. 2 hits, 1 run, and runners at the corners. So, got to limit the damage here.
There's a called strike, 0-2. Apparently, they are calling that ball to third and E5. Not sure if I agree with that. It was definitely not an easy play, but regardless, the inning keeps on going. 0-2 count. Hadger wants to come up with his best strikeout pitch right here, but then he steps off. McDonald steps out and readjusts. Runner goes, and there's a swing and a ground ball, but they say went off himself foul.
Yeah, and Cam McDonald has a very, very upright stance, and he can definitely generate a lot of power out of that, as he has already three extra base hits on the year.
0-2 the count. The windup, the pitch, that one fouled right back. McDonald fighting at the moment. He leads the team in RBIs and has an opportunity to pick up number 9 right here.
And Illinois has really made Steve Hajar work this inning. He's been a lot of battles, even with 2 strikes, just fouling off pitches, making him throw the perfect pitch.
0-2, swing and another foul. That one lands out into the parking lot. Very feisty at bat right now.
Yep, still at 0-2 though, so Steve Hajar looking to finally put Cam McDonald away.
He's in the driver's seat right now. The windup and the pitch. Swing and another foul. That one goes down the third base side. Scooped up by the third base coach down there after he pinballed off the railing. Runner on third is Jackson. Runner on first is Hampy. Oh and 2 count. Had your sets, and there's the pitch. That one corkscrewed down the right field line. It will arc foul into the Illinois bullpen. Just bending down and getting a little bit of it was McDonald. Crash course and contact hitting at the moment.
Yeah, very impressive to even get any piece of that ball. That one looked like it was down at his shoe tops, but he was able to fight it off and live to see another pitch.
Definitely got the movement that Hadger wanted on that delivery. 0-2 count, and just missed. 1-2. Bench for Michigan was waiting for the punch-out signal. It did not come. Having to dig back in is McDonald and take the 1-2 offering. Sets. The pitch. Oh, that looked either a little high or a little inside. Tough to tell from our vantage point, but he's nibbling on the edges right now. These are good deliveries, but even better discipline from McDonald. And a big moment in this game. 2-1 the score. 2-2 the count. Runners on the corners. 2 outs here in the top of the third. The windup, the pitch, and he got him. Or no, swinging a fly ball into right field, and that'll be caught by Elliott. Lost that ball in the sun for a moment. And that will end the third inning, the top of the third, rather. We will head to the bottom half. And you are listening to Michigan Baseball on WCBN Sports.
Yeah, and we saw the Illinois bats come alive here in this last inning. Really, I mean, it's got to be down to their great approach. Just fouling pitches off consistently, not letting Hajar get his pitch. I mean, you saw in that last at bat, Cam McDonald, I think there was 4 or 5 foul balls just on an 0-2 count, and then he was able to work the count to 2-2. And even though it resulted in a fly ball, I mean, they've gotten Hajar's pitch count way up there at this point, And I mean, Hajar started that inning with only 35 pitches, but he threw nearly 30 in that inning, and he's now up to 64 pitches. So, I mean, their approach is working. I mean, they're making him throw a lot of pitches, and they saw the fruits of that labor that inning as they were able to poke some balls into the outfield and get a run across. I mean, although they definitely would have liked more.
Hoffman will go back out there to begin the bottom of the third. He's gotten a run back from his Illinois hitters, trying to keep Michigan off the board for the first time today in an inning. They'll face the top of the order in the third. Jake Marti, then Christian Molfetta, and then Tito Flores. There's a swing and a miss.
Yeah, and we'll see how Hoffman comes out after that long inning, as his boys were able to push across a run. But I mean, staying in that dugout for that long may takes a toll on some pitchers.
Ball 1-1. Marti gets back in the batter's box. Wind up in the pitch. There's a swing and a fly ball into shallow left field, drifting towards foul territory. It will stay fair, and the catch is made by Braden Comia for the first out. That'll bring up Molfetta. He struck out swinging. There's a strike to begin that at bat.
Very nice breaking ball right there, just settling in on that outer corner from Hoffman.
Oh and 1 count. There's a called strike, quickly 0-2.
And right back to it with another breaking ball. Molfetta maybe looking for that fastball, unable to pull the trigger.
Wind up. And the 0-2 on the way. That one high, 1-2. Molfetta steps out and takes a practice swing. One-two swing and a ball that's popped foul, and it will get into the Illinois bullpen. Molfetta steps back in the batter's box, taps the plate once, and then re-engages.
And if you're Michigan, you want to get a few base runners here. Keep it.
That one swung on and hit into right field, tailing, and a diving play. Was it caught? Yes, it was. That is a beautiful defensive play by McDonald in right field, laying out with the glove just inside the foul line.
Yeah, just a great play there, ranging all the way to the foul line and diving to make the catch. I mean, just great support for your pitcher right there.
So now quickly 2 outs in the inning. Trying to get his fastest inning of the day is Andrew Hoffman, and he'll face Tito Flores. There's a called strike, finding the zone well here in his bottom of the third.
He's starting out these Michigan hitters with some breaking balls the second time through the order, catching them off guard a little bit.
It's a ball 1-1. Flores, as he steps back into the batter's box, we were starting to mention a little bit about him in his earlier at-bat. Went 2 for 2 in his only 2 plate appearances in the shortened season last year as a freshman. Now as a sophomore, he's hitting in the middle of the Michigan lineup. There's a ball 2-1. Was an 8.5 out of 10 on Perfect Games recruiting rankings. An in-stater from Brother Rice High School, Detroit native. 2-1 on the way. Waves and misses 2-2. Brother Rice, of course, the alma mater of our old executive director, Evan Osterly. Produced a number of Michigan athletes over the years. 2 for 2-2 on Flores. Hoffman winds up. Pitch on the way, and he swings and hits this one right over to short. Gloved and a quick throw across the diamond for a 6-3 putout. Comia makes the play, And that'll do it for a 1-2-3 inning. Hoffman starting to settle in. Michigan still leads 2-1 as we head into the top of the 4th inning. Updating our NCAA tournament scores. At halftime, Loyola Chicago leads Georgia Tech 30-23. Oregon State leads Tennessee 18-9. Baylor leads Hartford 46-30. And then the big game, Ohio State and Oral Roberts still going on right now. The Buckeyes lead Oral Roberts 64-63. Another free throw upcoming for the 15th seeded Oral Roberts with a chance to tie the game in the waning moments here. That game is very exciting. Of course, only a few 15 seeds have ever beaten a 2 seed. The last time it happened, it was to Michigan's other rival, Michigan State, back in 2016 when the Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders felled the Spartans. We'll keep you updated on that score as the game rolls along as Hadger goes back out to begin this 4th inning here at Ray Fisher Stadium. The score, Michigan 2, Illinois 1. You're listening to Michigan Baseball on WCBN Sports.
Yeah, and Steve Ajar is definitely looking for a quicker inning this time. Doesn't want to give these Illinois hitters more opportunities to put the barrel on the ball. As last inning was out there for 30 pitches, and I mean, you just want a 1-2-3 inning here if you're Ajar. After your guys weren't able to push anything across, you got to get a quick one here and get your boys back up to hit.
It'll be Justin Janis to start things off, followed by Brandon Comia, and then Jacob Campbell, 5, 6, 7 in the Illini order. Hadger winds up. First pitch is a called strike. Starts things off well. Pitch on the way. It's low in the dirt. 1-1. Hadger through 3 innings has allowed a couple hits, 1 walk, and he's collected 3 strikeouts, one of which in a very timely situation in that last inning. 1 run allowed, 1-1. The count, and that pitch bounces in 2-1. Hadger touches the brim of his cap to adjust it. Now he'll get ready to deliver the 2-1 on the way. Swing and a foul arcing out of play. Update to that Ohio State score. Oral Roberts did tie it, and they are headed into overtime out in West Lafayette. 2-2 the count here in Ann Arbor. Justin Janis in the batter's box. The pitch on the way. That one just misses the strike zone. 3-2 the count. Full count. Hadger winds up. The pitch, that one misses outside. And Illinois has got a leadoff runner on to begin this top of the 4th inning. That's how they got their run last inning, was a leadoff runner. It came via a single by Raper. This time a walk to Janis starts things off.
Yeah, not the start that Hajar was looking for. Wanted to get one quick out there, but not, unfortunately, unable to find the zone and surrenders the leadoff walk.
That pitch down and in to begin the at-bat to Brandon Comia, 1-0. Comia was the first Illini hitter to reach base with 2 outs in that 2nd inning. 1-0 on the way, swinging a chopper over to short, and it'll be gloved by Sems, but another hit, and now 2 aboard for Illinois. No play over at first.
Yeah, and with the infielders in double play depth, that ball was just hitting a place where there's not really much you could do with it. Just hit between the hole, high chopper, hit between the 6-4 hole, and just not much you can do with that one.
So now 2 aboard and nobody out as Jacob Campbell steps to the plate. Interesting to see if Illinois small balls this and has him bunt. They've pulled the third baseman Molfetta in case. He's going to take that pitch for a ball. As we mentioned, Campbell's been red hot to start the season, so I don't think there's a lot of reason to have him bunt in this situation. He grounded out to third his first time up. Michigan would like that here. A double play ball could flip this inning back around as Hadger's run into trouble again. 1-0 on the way. That one bounces in. Good block by Mazer. Now 2-0.
It looks like Griffin Mazer is going to come out to the mound to have a little talk with Steve Hadger. And
the rest of the infield will come in as well. Other scores in Big Ten baseball, Purdue leads Indiana 1-0 in the top of the 7th, low-scoring game there between those two teams. An interstate rivalry. And then Nebraska will be taking on Iowa. That first pitch slated for 5 o'clock. We just passed the 5 o'clock hour. So that one should be getting underway shortly. As we mentioned, Michigan will be back at it tomorrow against Illinois, and then they have 2 more Sunday and Monday against the Spartans. 2-0 count to Steve Hadger, who is, just really breezed through his first 2 starts of the season for the Wolverines, now running into an Illinois offense that came into this game red hot. And they're starting to make him work a little bit after 2 easy innings to begin the contest. Runners on first and second and nobody out here in the top of the 4th. Michigan clings to a 2-1 lead. Pitch on the way. That is swung and hit over to second and caught out of the air, but running over to try and tag the bag was Riley Bertram, not able to get the double play. Regardless, that's a line out and a big first out of the inning.
yeah, I mean, that was nice awareness there from Janis to get back to the bag so quickly on a liner that looked like it was a little in-betweener. Could have been a snag off the ground or caught.
Jackson Raper now steps into the batter's box. Still 2 runners aboard, but 1 out. A double play would end the inning in this situation. First pitch on the way is a called strike. 0-1 the count. Mazer, the catcher, looks into the dugout, getting some signs on how they want to attack Raper, the third baseman, who is 1 for 1 in this game. Singled to lead off the last inning, came around to score Illinois' only run. They trailed 2-1, but they've got 2 runners aboard right here. 0-1 count. The windup, the pitch. That one swung and fouled right back to the screen. 0-2. Hadger adjusts his arm and now gets ready for the 0-2 offering. Raper stepped out, so now a reset. Checks the runner back to second, and that is a called strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. And now quickly 2 outs, a big strikeout there from Steve Hadger, and now he can end the inning with an out any way he wants.
Very nice pitch there, just painting the outside corner. Not really giving Illinois any chance on that one.
4th strikeout for Hadger. Now Cal Haja will come back up with 2 on and 2 outs. He takes a called strike. And Hadger, whose command wavered a little bit in this inning to begin, is now locating his pitches so well. Continues to hold the baseball with his left hand behind his back, puts it in the glove, looks over to first. Now he winds up. That pitch down and in. 1-1 the count. Mazer chucks it back to his starting pitcher. Now he looks in, gets ready to go. Second baseman Bertram playing a little up the middle. 1-1 on the way, called strike on the outer edge. Continuing to have really good command. Hadger now one strike away from wiggling out of the jam after giving up a walk and a single to start this fourth inning and keeping the Michigan one-run lead intact. Sending his hitters back up to the plate. Let's see if he can do it here. The 1-2 on the way, up by the head level of Hasia. Now 2-2. The count. Taylor Jackson waiting on deck if necessary for the Illini. And Michigan would like to not see him again after he had the RBI double last inning. 2-2 on the way, down and in, and now the count runs full.
And the runners will be off on this pitch. Not what Hager was looking for.
Now the count runs full. The runner Janis is inching off of second. Healthy lead for Comia at first. They'll be ready to run with the ball in play. 3-2 swung on and chopped foul down the third base side. Molfetta will scoop it up and toss it into the dugout. Count stays full. You've passed the 1 hour mark for this baseball game. Hadger continues to wait for the signs from Mazer. Now he sets the windup and the 3-2. That one bounces in. That'll be ball 4. Mazer had trouble finding it. Now he gets to it, and the bases are now loaded for Taylor Jackson, the leadoff hitter. A good at-bat from Hasia, not to bite on some of those offerings from Hadger.
Yeah, and a nice 7-pitch battle there from Hasia to work the count and, ultimately draw a walk to load the bases.
Another big moment in this baseball game with the bases now loaded. Recap the inning, walk to Janis, single to Comia, then a line out by Campbell. Strikeout looking of Raper, but then a walk just issued to Hasia. First pitch on the way, called strike. Looked like the inside part of the plate. 0-1 the count. Jackson, the leadoff center fielder, struck out swinging to begin the game back in the top of the first. And he swings and hits this one into shallow right center field. Backing up, running is Bertram, and not able to make the play. Runners coming home, throw to the plate, and Mazer will tag the last runner out, but 2 runs will score on the bloop single to right center, and that should put Illinois ahead 3-2.
And, that was just hitting the no man's land. Not really much that Riley Bertram could do, but nice work to keep that last run from scoring, firing a bullet in to Griffin Mazer to tag that last runner out.
So 2 runs come home, and Michigan finds themselves behind for the first time today. Bloop double to Taylor Jackson. A little bad luck as he jammed him in, but that's why you didn't want to walk Hasia there and keep that inning going. And Taylor Jackson's now got 3 RBIs on the day. The putout at the plate goes 8-2 to conclude the frame. Update in the Ohio State game. Oral Roberts now leads 72-69 in overtime. Under 1 minute to go in that one.
Yeah, and it would be a tough loss for the Buckeyes after putting together such a great year. But, Oral Roberts has played quite the game.
Hoffman goes back out there. He'll have the lead behind him for the first time today, and the Michigan Bats going to have to go to work. They'll have Mazer, Elliott, and Obertop here in this 4th inning.
And yet again, the Illinois throwdown just unable to connect. So I said it before, I'll say it again. I'm looking for Michigan to stay aggressive on the base paths, as Illinois hasn't really looked too sure of themselves when thrown down to second.
So, Mazer will step in the batter's box. He struck out swinging back his first time up, and he swings and skies that one into the outfield, into right center field. Coming over and making the play is McDonald. We saw him show out defensively last inning with a diving catch down the right field line, and he makes a quick first out in the fourth. That's now 6 straight batters sat down by Hoffman. He gave up that homer to Obertop and the walk to Sems, and then since then he's settled in very, very nicely.
Yes, it's definitely gotten into a groove against this Michigan lineup.
There's a ball to Clark Elliott. Elliott grounded out to second his last time up, and we were trying to work in about him, but he quickly put the ball in play. Weren't able to get to his backstory. 1-0 on the way, swings and misses 1-1. Elliott last season started all 15 games for Michigan as a freshman. He reached base in 14 of those 15, looking for his first career homer. He's got a couple doubles and a couple steals so far on the year. 1-1 on the way. Swings and fouls that one off, 1-2. Michigan needs to get some base runners. Get a rally going, now trailing 3-2 in the fourth. Pitch on the way is high, 2-2. Elliott steps out. Gets ready for the 2-2 offering from Hoffman. Swings and nicks that one back to the screen. High hopper. We'll keep the 2-2 count right there. Obertop waiting on deck here in this fourth inning. Softball players still practicing in Alumni Field. 2-2, strike 3 call on the outside corner. Good pitch.
Yeah, very nice pitch. Elliott looked like he wanted to pull the trigger. Wasn't sure if that was going to be a strike or not, but gets rung up nonetheless.
Hoffman starting to really settle in. He's now at 49 pitches on the afternoon with 2 outs in the fourth. Obertop takes a pitch high. He's the only Michigan batter to really puncture Hoffman today, hitting that home run back in the second that just carried out opposite field blast down the right field line. 1-0 count. Wind up, and he swings and he hits this one to center field, backing up towards the track, towards the wall, and it's gone! Jimmy Obertop does it again. A 2-run blast to dead center field. And wow, just flexing the muscles today is Obertop. And Michigan has tied the game 3-3. Pumping it out. Wow. Obertop making a statement here today, and that puts him into the team lead with 4 long balls on the season.
Yeah,
how about that one?
That was just a monster shot. Just cleared the batter's eye in center field. I mean, just hit. I mean, there was never a doubt about that one. He's muscled that well over 400 feet.
Taylor Jackson turned his back, started galloping back, and then when you saw him look up, you knew it was out of here. There's a strike to Sems now with 2 outs in the inning, and the game tied at 3. We have exciting news for Michigan fans to announce. Oral Roberts has officially knocked off the Ohio State Buckeyes. A 15 seed takes down the 2nd-seeded Ohio State. The first big upset of the 2021 NCAA men's basketball tournament. Back to Ray Fisher. The count now 1-1 on Sems. There's a pitch outside, 2-1. Sems
drew a walk his last time up. Head in the count here, swings and fouls this one right back at us, but it hits the twine and the screen before it can come towards us. Last time Sems was up, he was also following an over-top home run. As the Michigan first baseman now 2 for 2 on the day with a pair of solo shots.
Yeah, and very impressive. I mean, Andrew Hoffman hadn't given up a home run on the year, but
there's a swing and
then
a
came
pop up into foul ground towards the railing, and having room there to make the catch is the third baseman Raper. That'll do it for the fourth inning, but Michigan gets the equalizer, and we are tied at 3 through 4 innings here at Ray Fisher Stadium in Ann Arbor. This is a good one so far. You're listening to Michigan Baseball on WCBN Sports.
Yeah, and as I was saying, Jimmy Obertop is now the only, before this, not Jimmy Obertop. Hoffman had not given up a home run on the year, but Jimmy Obertop has changed that with his first 2 plate appearances against Hoffman, both resulting in home runs. So very, very impressive from Obertop.
Hadger will go back out there, and this is where you're looking for a quick inning if you are the Michigan Wolverines. Hadger had 2 very quick frames in the first and second, but then ran into trouble in the third, surrendered a run, but pitched out of the jam. Then ran into trouble in the fourth, looked like he was going to get out of the jam, and then gives up a bloop double to score 2 runs before getting out of that inning. And his pitch count has started to rise in this game, now up to 87 pitches. Probably his last inning here today. Upcoming, this Illinois offense has proved their mettle against a very good junior lefty for the Wolverines. He'll be facing Dolegale, Hampy, and McDonald. 2, 3, 4. So this is the meat of the order. There's a called strike on the outside edge to Danny Dolegale. 0 for 2 on the day. Ground out to short and a strikeout looking for the left fielder. 0-1 coming, skips in. Mazer gets in front of it.
Yeah, that one just overthrew that one a little bit. That one bounced about 5 feet in front of home plate.
1-1 count. There's a called strike. 1-2.
Yeah, and it's going to be very important for Hajar here to get a quick inning to keep that confidence up and keep us from having to go into that bullpen.
There's a swing and a high pop-up in the infield. Obertop comes over and he wants it just in front of the pitcher's mound. He makes the play. First out of the inning. That's a big first out after back-to-back frames where the leadoff batter got aboard. And Hampy will come up now with 1 out in the 5th. Wind up in the pitch, called strike, 0-1.
And kind of surprisingly, Hajar has been able to quiet this part of the lineup so far, and it's been the other parts of the lineup that have been giving him trouble.
0-1 swing and a miss. 0-2. That's a good point. It's been the bottom of the order that has done the damage, particularly the 8-9 hitters, and then the number 1 hitter, Taylor Jackson, obviously has been the big menace in the lineup today. Ahead 0-2, trying to get a big strikeout. And that one is fouled out of play by Hampy. Hadger peers in at Mazer. Now he winds up. 0-2, ground ball Over to short, Sems gloves it, throws across the diamond, and he gets Hampy by a step. 2 up, 2 down for the lefty Hadger. Now approaching 100 pitches. That one entered in the bookies at 95 as McDonald gets ready to step in. McDonald, very upright stance. 0 for 2 today. Ground out to third and a fly out to right, and he fouls that one. It arcs out of play, headed towards the parking lot. The event staff rushing over to see where it's going to land. But Hadger's done well to get ahead of the hitters here in this inning. Would like to deliver this game tied to his batters and probably then to the bullpen. Michigan's got some players starting to move around in the pen.
Yeah,
it's a ball 1-1.
Probably going to let Hadger get out of this inning, but then after this, I mean, you don't want to push him much past around 100 pitches, so he's going to be defaulting to the bullpen from now on.
1-1 on the way. It's a ball 2-1. Michigan will have no shortage of arms to potentially come out of that bullpen. Had a lot of different guys working in, but of course 4 games in a row here, a long weekend. Got to manage the pitch counts accordingly. That one fouled off, 2-2. Just a few of the names to potentially see in the mid-innings. Ben Gigani, Isaiah Page, Joe Pace, Angelo Smith, Keaton Caratini, Jack White, all potentially could come in. And of course, if Michigan has a lead late, you probably see Will Proctor and Willie Weiss, the closer, in the 9th inning. Long way to go before that as we play in the top of the 5th. 2-2 on the way, swing and a chopper foul. This is a good at-bat for McDonald, and it's really just been the relentlessness of these Illinois hitters that have driven up Hadger's pitch count.
Yeah, I mean, just so many foul balls. I mean, whether it's in 2 strike counts or not, I mean, this has been fighting off everything that they can.
That one is swung on and fouled off again. We talked about Illinois entering this game and these hitters. And, you know, again, this Illinois team traditionally is more of a pitching-oriented team than a hitting-oriented team. And there were questions about would the hitting translate against a good pitcher like Hadger. And they haven't knocked him around, but they have done enough to really make him work here today. 2-2. That one is swung on and hit into right field. Moving over towards the line and making the play there is Clark Elliott. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Steve Hadger. He keeps the game tied, and we head to the bottom of the 5th. Our score, Michigan 3, Illinois 3. You're listening to Michigan Baseball on WCBN Sports.
Yeah, and a good inning there from Hadger. I mean, that will probably be his last of this afternoon game, but I mean, great to go out retiring the 3 best hitters in the Illinois lineup.
So Hoffman will head back out for the bottom half of the 5th as we are officially halfway through this ball game today. Moving along decently quickly. We're at just about to hit the 5:30 hour Eastern time here in Ann Arbor. We were anticipating a quicker game because of the good pitchers on the mound. Not a lot of long innings, at least so far. Michigan will have the bottom of the orders. Bertram, Bullock, and then it'll flip to the top with Marti here coming up in the 5th game. Rewind, Michigan got runs in the 1st and the 2nd. Single stolen base, error to 3rd, and then a sac fly got Marti in the 1st. Homer by Obertop in the 2nd made it 2-0. Illinois got a run in the 3rd, but Hadger pitched out of the jam. Then Illinois got 2 on a bloop double in the 4th. The 3rd run trying to come home was thrown out to end the inning. That put Illinois ahead 3-2, and then Michigan came back in the bottom of the 4th, and Obertop stroked his 2nd long ball of the game to tie it at 3. Hadger just threw up a goose egg on the board, and now we are getting ready for the bottom half of the 5th here in Ann Arbor. I'm Alex Drain, joined by Stevie McGregor for this Michigan baseball home opener. Wolverines 22nd ranked in the country, 7-1 in Big Ten play. Illinois unranked 4-4 in Big Ten play, but with their ace, Andrew Hoffman, on the mound today through 4 innings. He's got 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. That first pitch is a ball inside to Bertram. That is delivery number 57 for Hoffman. He's in very good shape with the pitch count. Michigan has been a bit more aggressive. There's a strike.
And even with Michigan really not being able to put together those great at-bats that Illinois has been able to, they still a tie game, still been able to put up 3 runs. So look for some good game coming up in these latter innings.
Strike now 1-2. Wind up in the pitch. That one is swung on and blooped into shallow center. Charging and not going to make the play is the center fielder Jackson. It'll drop for a bloop single. And Michigan gets the leadoff runner on, and we'll see if they try and small ball and manufacture like they did in the first inning. Riley Bertram this season has not attempted a stolen base. Let's go back to 2020. He was 3 for 4 in steals in the 15 games last season, so he's definitely got the speed. And we saw Michigan test the arm of the catcher Hampy with good results back in the first. They'll have Bullock now at the plate.
And Illinois anticipating the bunt.
Here it comes. Laid down the third base sign, getting right to it, and making the play right to first is Raper. Moves the runner up. Sacrifice for Bullock, and that'll put a runner in scoring position for the leadoff hitter Marti.
Yeah, and I mean, just as we expected, just as Illinois expected as well. The third baseman was shaded in so far. He was right on that bunt, but perfectly laid down by Christian Bullock. No play at second, and just very nice sacrifice. Advance the runner, try to manufacture another run against Hoffman.
Trying to put Michigan back on top. Marti in the batter's box, and he watches the first pitch go down and in. Michigan's got a reliever up and throwing with the sweatshirt top taken off. He looks like he'll be coming into the game. Can't see the number at the moment. It's obscured by the foul pole from our vantage point. We'll see if we can get a better look in a moment. 1-0 count on Marti. That pitch high and outside, 2-0. Looks to be a lefty. Haven't seen him turn his back eye.
I can't make it out, but
2-0 the count on Marti. Looking back at second is Hoffman. The windup and the pitch. There's a strike, 2-1. Looks to be number 21, which would be Ben Gigani. Probably Michigan's best long reliever. Also started a game last weekend. A lot of history behind Gigani that we'll get to if he does indeed come into this game. There's also a couple other players up and starting to throw as well. So we'll see what direction Eric Bakich goes to in the top of the 6th. 2-1 count on Marti. Runner with the big lead at second. He swings and hits this one foul. 2-2. Bertram looking to round third and come home if Marti can put this ball into the outfield. 1 out in the inning. 3-3 game. Two coming, swung on and just looped foul off the screen. Molfetta will go pick up that loose ball. There's a lot of room up the middle. Second baseman Haja is playing a little up that direction, but a lot of space on the left side. Also a big hole between second and first for Bertram to for Marti to potentially pull it through, and then Bertram could have a chance to come home. Now Hoffman steps off and looks back.
Yeah, Bertram getting a big lead out there. Illinois not really electing not to.
No real reason to hold him on.
Yeah.
Don't anticipate any reason why he would be trying to steal third. 2-2 coming. This one is swung on and hit into left field. Trying to locate it and then making the play there is Dolagale. That'll be 2 outs. Now it'll be Molfetta's turn to try and bring this runner in scoring position home. Molfetta today a strikeout swinging and a fly out to right. Runner down there. Second is Bertram. Led off this inning with a single. Moved up on the sac bunt from Bullock. Now the fly out by Marti. 2 outs. There's a strike from Molfetta.
Yeah, and we'll see if Molfetta can't get a 2-out base knock. It'll almost certainly bring Bertram home.
He'll be going on contact with 2 outs. 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. This is really the first time all day that Hoffman has pitched in a stressful situation. The Marti run in the first was kind of a quick situation. He got over to third and then was either the next pitch or one right after that. He came in on a sac fly, nothing really extended, and then the other 2 runs have both been solo shots.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just quick scoring for Michigan. This is his first opportunity to pitch out of a jam.
Yeah, not a lot of traffic on the base paths for Michigan so far.
0-2, swinging a ground ball to second, moving over to his right, getting to it is Haja. Flip over to first, and that'll do it. Michigan strands the runner on second, and we head to the 6th. Still tied at 3. Pretty good baseball game developing here at Ray Fisher Stadium for the home opener for Michigan baseball's 2021 season. Michigan gets a hit, no runs, 1 left in the 5th, and we head to the 6th inning. Seeing the new pitcher trot out from the bullpen. That appears to be Gigani. Have to see the number officially, but he is a lefty. Yep, number 21, Ben Gigani, who Michigan baseball fans may remember from years ago. Gigani was a freshman in 2018 and was dominant that season. Was a second-team All-American as a freshman, but then he had to have Tommy John surgery and he missed all of the 2019 campaign. Was expected to get back into potentially a starting role by the end of last season, but of course, last season didn't go nearly as long as it was hoped. He just got to pitch a little bit, and now finally, 3 years after he was last a dominant starter for Michigan, Ben Gigani is back and a significant contributor for this Michigan team. He's been very good so far, was dominant in relief against Iowa, and he had a very strong start against Purdue last weekend coming out of the bullpen here, but they stretched him out to a starting capacity last weekend, so he could easily go 2 or 3 innings here for Michigan. And I think the hope for Eric Bakic's crew is that he could potentially be a full-time starter by the end of the year. If not, obviously, doesn't hurt to have an Andrew Miller-type power arm to go multiple innings out of your bullpen. Gigani was part of that freshman class with Jeff Criswell and Jesse Franklin, who all kind of departed to the MLB draft last year. Gigani last man standing after his poor injury luck, but looking to get his career back on track this season. He's off to a good start. We'll see how he handles these tricky Illinois bats.
Yeah, so far on the year, 8 innings pitched, 4 hits, and 7 strikeouts, and no earned runs allowed. So, I mean, so far, it's looking like the pitcher of old. We'll see if he can keep it going.
First pitch is a ball. Second is a swing and a miss for a strike. He's got Janis in the batter's box. Janis, Comia, and Campbell. It was this 5-6-7 combo that got the 4th inning, the 2 runs Illinois scored, going. It was a walk to Janis and a single to Comia. There's a swing and a ball hit over to first on a hop. Quickly tapping the bag is over top for a quick first out. He'll go down as 3 unassisted for the putout. Now Comia will come up to the plate, and Comia is the only hitter today not been retired yet. A walk and a single. Comia steps into the batter's box. right-handed hitter against the lefty Gigani. All lefties so far for Michigan, and he just strokes this one right into right field. First pitch swinging, and he picks the wide-open hole on the opposite side of the infield. That's just a hitter's hit right there.
Yeah. I mean, in an unshifted infield, that's probably just a ground out to second, but, I mean, with the shift on, it's just that massive hole. I mean,
found his hole and hit it right to it. Runner aboard now with one out in the sixth inning. 3-3 ball game. Campbell steps to the plate. Ground out to short and a line out to second today. First pitch from Gigani dives down and in. Obertop holding the runner on. Haven't seen a lot of Illinois on the base paths in terms of trying to advance much. There's a swing and a grounder right over to short. This could be two. Flip to second one. Relay to first, and it is in time. 6-4-3. Sems to Bertram to Obertop, and that is a very quick inning for Ben Gigani. Surrenders a single, but none left with the double play ball, and just like that, the Michigan hitters can go back to work. In the bottom half of the sixth inning, our score, Illinois 3, Michigan 3. You're listening to Michigan Baseball on WCBN Sports.
Yeah, just quick 6-pitch inning, 3 ground balls. I mean, you can't ask for much more out of Ben Gigani. Coming out of the pen, making quick work of the 3 hitters he faced, even with that single to Comia.
Quick update in the NCAA tournament scores. Baylor about to finish off a victory over Hartford, 77-53 in the last minute there. Georgia Tech and Loyola Chicago tied at 43 midway through the second half. That looks to be an exciting game. And Oregon State, the 12 seed, with an upset potential, up 14 at the half over the 5 seed Tennessee here in the late 5 o'clock hour on a Friday, heading into the night and the weekend. Looking at the Big Ten scores in the baseball world, let's get our update from D1Baseball.com. Indiana's got a 2-1 lead over Purdue in the top of the ninth. Nebraska and Iowa scoreless in the top of the third. Michigan and Illinois, obviously, here in Ann Arbor, tied at 3. Hoffman back out there for his 6th inning of work. Continues to have an efficient pitch count. He's sitting at 70 through 5 innings of work. 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts for him. We can also close the book on Steve Hadger's day. Final line, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 4 strikeouts, and 3 walks. Bumpy day, but he did enough. He'll get a no decision as this game is tied here in the bottom of the 6th, and it'll be Tito Flores leading things off. 3-4-5, Flores, Mazer, and Elliott. This first pitch swung and looped out of play.
Yeah, and Hajar with a not his best outing, but I mean he'll definitely be happy. I mean, navigated trouble well. The Illinois hitters were giving him fits all day, but was able to keep it to a tie ball game.
0-1 called strike to Flores. 0-2. Flores 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. He also had a sacrifice fly, picked up an RBI back in the first, scoring Marti. Good situational hitting from him back in the first. 0-2 coming from Hoffman. This one is swung on and popped high into the sky. Shallow right field coming over McDonald. He's been busy today in right field, and he makes the first out. Now Mazer will come up. We haven't gotten to really talk about Griffin Mazer as much as the UC Irvine transfer. 3 home runs, grand slam against Iowa. 0 for 2 today. But he's handled the pitching staff well so far, and as of last week, he was sporting a mean mustache. Not sure if he still is. Can't tell from our vantage point. There's a ball, 1-0 the count.
And Hoffman, yet again, able to set down Flores on 3 pitches. So he's been able to work quickly throughout the afternoon.
1-0 on the way. This one is swung on and hit right over to short. And that'll be a quick 6-3 putout. for the shortstop, Brandon Comia, and Michigan continues to put balls in play short at bats. That's allowed Hoffman to stay around. Credit for being aggressive, but they're going to have to either find a way to extend the at-bats and grind him out of the game, or figure a way to get one more run off of him as we play here in the bottom of the sixth in a tie ball game, 3-3. Clark Elliott in the batter's box. He's 0 for 2. Ground out to short and a strikeout looking. Takes that one down and away, 1-0.
I would definitely like to get it over to the man in the batter's box, Jimmy Overtop.
Yeah.
Get it to him with a runner on for a change. So he already has 2 home runs today, so, I mean, seems to be the only Michigan hitter that's truly figured out Hoffman so far.
There's a ball, 2-0. Elliott cocks the bat over his left shoulder, and he swings and hits this one out of play down the third base side. No action at the moment in the Michigan pen. Guys standing up, but nobody throwing. Looks to be Gigani's game, at least for the next couple innings.
Yeah, I mean, after working so quickly, don't really see any reason to give the ball to anybody else.
2-1 count to Elliott. He swings and hits this one to short, or to second rather. Getting over and throwing is Haja, and he makes the play. That is a 4-3 put out and a quick 1-2-3 inning for Hoffman. He's going to keep hanging around and keeping his Illini in it. Those hitters will go back up to the plate in the top of the seventh. This game really starting to speed up. So we are through 6 innings in just about an hour and 45 minutes. The dugout empties for Michigan. They all go out.
Yeah,
Get some action out in the left field area, and Gigani will jog back out to the mound.
Yeah, the Michigan dugout has been able to keep themselves busy with powwows out in left field.
Yep, they're doing the run out and tap the wall right now. Looking ahead for the rest of the weekend, these two teams will be back at it tomorrow at noon. The game will be streamed on BTM Plus. We will not have audio of that one, but we'll be back Sunday and Monday as well for the Michigan State games. Projected starter for tomorrow's game for the Wolverines will be Cam Weston. Jacob Denner slated to go on Sunday, and Blake Beers, who's been the sort of the old midweek starter, to go on Monday. No midweek games this year. Instead, a lot of 4-game series. But again, a very young pitching staff for the Wolverines, so it's a matter of managing these arms. But this game, at least on paper, is the one where Michigan really expected to be in the closest game, because Hoffman, obviously, the best pitcher they're going to see this weekend between either Illinois or Michigan State. Jackson Raper ready to lead things off, 8-9 and then 1 for Illinois, and this is where they have gotten some damage today. Raper 1 for 2, Haja 0 for 1, and of course Jackson, who will be in the hole, is 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles. There's a swing and a chop foul, 0-1.
And Gigani's been able to get ahead of basically all of the Illinois hitters he's faced, except for Comey, of course, who started out with a first pitch single.
0-1 coming. This one is swung on and looped into right field, moving over and kind of falling onto one knee for an awkward-looking catch. There is the right fielder, Clark Elliott, and another quick out.
Made it look a little bit difficult, but I mean, they all count the same in the scorebook.
Now Haja comes up to bat. Gigani to step on the rubber. First pitch high and outside. Gigani's now gotten 4 outs in just 8 pitches to begin his outing. That one chop foul.
An attempted bunt, but tried to catch the defense napping a little bit, but unable to keep it fair.
Count will even at 1 apiece. Not a lot of hitting in this game. Illinois 5 hits in 23 at-bats. Michigan 4 hits in 20 at-bats. It's kind of the pitcher's duel we expected. There's a ball down and in, 2-1, except the 3 runs each way is a little more than we may have expected, just simply because when the runs have come, they've been very efficient. Long balls and quick strikes when they've gotten opportunities. 2-1, there's a wave and a miss, 2-2. Gigani's got 7 strikeouts through 9 2/3 on the season. None yet in this outing, but now looking to collect his first in a 2-2 count. Looks like some soft toss now in the bullpen for Michigan. That one swung and fouled back. Not sure how long Eric Bakich will want Gigani to go. He has been stretched out to about 4 innings so far this season. Yeah. That would take him the distance through 9, but obviously how this baseball game turns will be worth watching, and whether Bakich wants him for a later game this weekend as well. That ball fouled off, 2-2.
Has even though he doesn't have a hit, has continued to put together just good at bats, making these pitchers work. I mean, first Tajar and now Gigani. He's put together some quality at bats, risen up that pitch count, and set the table for the top of the lineup.
2-2 coming, swing and a miss, and there's Ben Gigani's first strikeout of the ball game. Now 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. And that'll flip to the top. Taylor Jackson comes to the plate, and for the first time since he led off the ball game, Jackson gets to come up with nobody aboard. His pair of RBI doubles has been all of Illinois' offense today. Collected 3 RBIs in this one. Also was struck out to begin the contest. First pitch high. His first double was a very legitimate one. Second was a blooper that just found the right hole. And junior center fielder, righty hitter against the lefty Gigani, watches that ball bounce in front of him and then take a big bounce to the backstop. Shadows starting to become more of a factor as the sun moves west. There's a swing and a fly ball to right field. This one well hit, going back towards the track, towards the wall, and it will drop in front of the wall in right center field. Getting to it is Bullock. He converged with Elliott there, and scampering to second for his 3rd double today is Taylor Jackson, proving why it was very important that he came to the plate without anyone on base. Yeah, just on fire.
Yeah, Taylor Jackson's been putting good swings on the ball all day, and continues. It hasn't mattered who, but he's been raking so far against these Michigan pitchers.
That's now his 3rd hit of the ball game, and Illinois only got 6 hits in the contest. He accounts for a full 50% of them. Now Danny Dolegale looking for his first hit and an opportunity to put the Illini back on top. Big moment here for Gigani. Dolegale has had an out every different way so far. Ground out, strikeout, fly out. 0 for 3 on the contest. First pitch coming is a bit high, 1-0. Hampy, the catcher, on deck if necessary. He's wearing the shin pads with the knowledge he may not come up in this inning and have to put on the full gear to go right back out there behind the plate. Gigani sets, looks at the runner at second, winds up 1-0. There's a called strike on the outer edge. And it's definitely a luxury for Eric Bakich to be able to go to a guy like Gigani, who had so much success a few years ago, out of your bullpen, not having to use him as a starter because they trust Weston, Denner, and Beers, although, again, there is a chance Gigani could get into that rotation by the end of the season. 1-1, swing and a ground ball over to second. This should be an easy play. Flip for Riley Bertram, and Gigani pitches out of it, strands the 2-out double, and we head to the stretch here in the 7th inning at Ray Fisher Stadium, still tied at 3 apiece. You're listening to Michigan Baseball on WCBN Sports.
Yeah, and going back to what Alex was saying about Gigani possibly transitioning into a starter, Bakich it's got to be for Dockich. It's just got to be a question of durability.
Well, certainly.
Can he hold up over a full 6-inning start?
Well, the good thing is that it is a couple years, removed from the Tommy John surgery, at least for Gigani, who's been able to build himself back up. Obviously, was probably working quite a bit with Eric Bakich and the pitching staff there over the last couple years to stretch himself back out and rehab. Hoffman goes back out there now to begin this 7th inning.
And he will face his
nemesis.
Yeah, his nemesis.
Jimmy Overtop will check in to start things off. Pair of homers from him. A couple updating our NCAA tournament scores. Loyola Chicago now leads Georgia Tech 57-49 with 5 minutes to play in the second half. And Oregon State, the Beavers running away from the Tennessee Volunteers 47-27 now. Upset brewing there. 15 minutes, though, still to go in the second half. A few more games getting ready to tip off in 6 and 7 o'clock hours as we approach 6 o'clock even Eastern Standard Time in Ann Arbor. And Jimmy Obertop checks into the batter's box looking for his 3rd homer. He's got a pair of solo shots. He'll lead off this inning against Hoffman. Takes the first pitch in tight. 3-3 game between these two teams.
Yeah, and I mean, Michigan only has 4 hits on the day, and half of them have come off the bat of Obertop, so.
1-0 coming, there's a strike, and that can often be the story of these tight games, is which player is going to step up. For Illinois, it's been Taylor Jackson. For Michigan, it's been Jimmy Obertop. Strike 1-1. Wind up, and he swings and hits this one to left field, arcing towards the corner, and it's going to bounce off the wall. Obertop cruising into second with a sliding headfirst double. It's tough to see from our angle as it tucked into that left field corner. The whole bench for Michigan stood up trying to see if he could get it over the wall. He could not, but he'll have to settle for a measly double. Now a 3-for-3 day for Obertop, and Michigan's got a runner in scoring position with nobody out, trying to take the lead here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, Michigan's got to steal some of these hitting tips from Obertop because he has just been lighting up.
Now we're going to have a meeting on the mound as a coach comes out of the Illinois dugout. Not sure if we're going to have a pitching change. There is someone up and warming, and it does appear there will be a pitching change. He's motioning towards the bullpen. Someone's trotting out from there, and that looks like, I think it'll be all for Hoffman. He motioned to the dugout, but Hoffman hasn't exited. Yeah, now he's trotting in, so I guess they're just waiting for Hoffman to leave the mound until the reliever comes in. But Obertop may have single-handedly ended Andrew Hoffman's day. Here comes the reliever trying to see the number on his uniform. He's a lefty. Now Hoffman finally gets the glove tap, and he'll head into the dugout.
Looks like it'll be Nathan Lavender.
Nathan Lavender.
Coming in for the Illini.
Let's take a look at his numbers this year. Lavender is a lefty, 6'2", 210 from Hudson, Illinois, so a second straight Illinois native to pitch today. He is one of the better draft prospects in the Big Ten, according to D1 Baseball and Baseball America, so a good pedigree for him. Let's look at his career numbers. He pitched 28 innings back in 2019, 17 appearances and 4 starts. Was pretty wild back then with 24 walks in 28 innings, but 37 strikeouts. So far this season, he's appeared twice, 4 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 6 strikeouts, hasn't walked anybody. So he has got a good track record so far, and much like Michigan, going to one of their more trusty relievers in Gigani, Illinois doing the same with Lavender to try and keep this game tied. He's going to have some work to do with the runner on second and nobody out here in the 7th.
Yeah, and for me, it's an interesting decision to let Hoffman see Obertop and then immediately pulling him afterwards. I mean, Obertop has been the only player on the Michigan lineup that's been able to really touch Hoffman.
Yeah, and that's the interesting decision for sure. Is we don't know about the pitch count though, because there aren't stats for how far Hoffman, how many pitches he threw in those games the last 2 weeks. Unfortunately, they weren't recorded in the Illinois stat book, so we don't know how far he's gone into games pitch-wise, but he was working efficiently. Lavender warms up, and we have Margaritaville, Jimmy Buffett on the PA, and the fans waiting eagerly to see what Benjamin Semmes can do. We haven't really talked about Semmes today. He's had some quick at-bats previously. Not much of a power hitter, but he's a contact guy. 5 walks entering today, including 1 earlier. He's another one of the grad transfers. Was 2019 All Big 12 second team at Kansas University. Then he played in the Cape Cod League, the most prestigious summer baseball league, in 2019. Came back and was playing well in 2020 before the COVID-shortened season. Then he ended up transferring to Michigan. Was Kansas's best defender, won the Best Defender award named by his teammates at Kansas 2 years ago. Now settling in as a shortstop for Michigan. And chance to drive in some runs here. Or 1 run, rather. With the runner on second. He waves and misses on that first offering from Lavender.
And Illinois, interestingly, pinching in a little bit. Not really.
Seeing if there's going to be a bunt from Semmes.
Looks like they're expecting it. We'll see if Michigan goes with that.
Wasn't showing it the first time. Lavender looks back at second. And took a long time. He looked back, looked to the catcher, looked back again, and that's when Semmes asked for time from the home plate umpire and was granted it. Semmes will adjust his helmet and he'll step back in the batter's box. Bends the knees. Puts the bat over the left shoulder. The windup and the 0-1 coming. It's a little inside, 1-1. Sounded like the Illinois dugout. A little aggravated about that call. Scores around the Big Ten. Indiana did defeat Purdue 2-1 in the interstate matchup there, which will keep them in second place in the conference for the moment. They moved to 6-1, trailing Michigan at 7-1 in the early going. 1-1 coming. There's a swing and a pop-up arcing out of play. 1-2, just like it was 2 years ago. Likely to be a battle between Indiana and Michigan for the Big Ten baseball crown. They were 1-2 2 years ago. They were 1-2 in the preseason poll, and they're 1-2 here in the early going. This 2021 season, it'll be a long regular season, longer than normal, at least in the conference play, due to the changes in the schedule. We'll get to those in a moment. 1-2 count. Lavender keeps looking back at the runner on second. Here's the pitch. That goes high and tight, and it hits Semmes. Michigan now will put a runner on first and second with nobody out in the inning. And with Bertram coming up, we'll see if they decide to go with the bunt to move the 2 runners into scoring position.
Yeah, and with a 1-2 count, definitely not what Lavender was looking for.
Looked like an off-speed pitch that floated on him.
Yeah. This looked like maybe just a little slip or something, but puts 2 runners on and ups the danger level here for Michigan. And definitely looking to get these runners out, maybe get these runners over and get the top of the lineup up to see if we can't get a few of them in.
That'll bring Riley Bertram to the plate. The corners still pulled in. Janis at first and Raper at third have come inside the bags. Lavender looks back. Going to be a quick throwback. Oh, and that ball got away into center field, but diving back in there was Overtop. He froze for a moment. If that throw was where it needed to be, they might have gotten him, but instead it was way behind the runner altogether, and it slipped in to center field. Not a good delivery by Lavender. Obertop looked like a deer in the headlights there. Yeah. Michigan averts disaster.
Yeah, nice job from Brandon Comia to at least knock that throw down to keep it from going all the way into center field, because that might have given the chance to Obertop to advance.
Now they're going to throw back again. Obertop's not going to get fooled this time. Right now they've got the shortstop Comia. He's standing sort of away from the bag, and then he just starts charging over. And Obertop able to get back in there again. Still waiting on the first pitch to Riley Bertram with 2 on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th in a 3-3 going game between Michigan and Illinois. Bertram squares to bunt, lays it down right in front of the pitcher, and Lavender will throw down to first, gets Bertram by a step. Runners move up, and now Michigan's got 2 in scoring position for Christian Bullock.
Yeah, another very well executed bunt by Riley Bertram, just not really giving Lavender any play except to first. And now Michigan's got 2 in scoring position for Christian Bullock, and they're looking to get a big inning here.
Bullock needs to put this ball in play.
And it looks like the Illini will bring the infield at least partially in.
Yep, they're in run prevention mode. First pitch to Bullock, and he swings and he pokes this one right in front of us. Ooh, and that one landed just to our left, and I think trickled into the concourse maybe.
Yeah, we almost got a souvenir there.
We've only got the door cracked open a little bit, so it would have to be very well placed, but that one came close. 0-1 the count. Game time temperature was 48 degrees. With the sun out, not chilly at all. Now at 46 degrees. 0-1 coming is down and away. Won't really drop until the sun goes down, which isn't projected to be till 7:46, and you won't really feel the temperature effects till the 8 or 9 o'clock hour. This game will not get there unless it goes into extras. 1-1 count on Bullock. Big moment in this game. The windup, the pitch, swing and a miss. Off speed, out in front of it.
Yeah, pulled the string on him there. Just had him waving. Not really close to that one.
Now 1-2 the count. Runner Obertop at third, Sems at second. The wind-up and the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Went to the same pitch again, and Bullock goes down swinging, and that is a huge strikeout for Lavender. Now 2 outs in the inning.
A very, very big strikeout there. I mean, just 2 consecutive off-speed pitches. Just had Bullock fooled both times. Must have been looking for the fastball.
Now that'll bring up Jake Marti. Runners on second and third still. The windup, the pitch, swings and he hits this one to right field, arcing towards the line, and it will drop into the Illinois bullpen. 0-1 the count. Marti today a single and a pair of balls in the air. One to the shortstop and one to the left fielder. These are where you need somebody to step up. Really other than Jimmy Obertop, because he's standing on third. Michigan 3 runs on 5 hits, Illinois 3 runs on 6 hits. A tight, well-played game so far. In the bottom of the 7th, 0-1 on the way. That pitch glides outside. 1-1.
Lavender's gone to that breaking ball quite a bit against these Michigan hitters, and that time Jake Marti was not fooled at all.
Well, it worked the other day. There's a swing and a miss. 1-2.
Yeah, he dialed it up on that one and just blew it right by Marti.
And now 1-2 count. Digs back into the batter's box. Taps the outside of the plate, the inside of the plate. He's behind in the count. Got to be in plate protection mode. Lavender sets. The windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that is a huge strikeout. Lavender very excited, and he'll trot into the dugout. Obertop led off with a double, and they got the hit by pitch, but 2 runners are stranded. That will loom large later on if Michigan cannot get a winning run across. We head to the 8th inning, still tied at 3 between Michigan and Illinois.
Yeah, Lavender coming up very big there. coming in, I mean, hitting the first batter, and then coming in with the sacrifice bunt, moving runners over to second and third, but then two big strikeouts against the 9-hitter and then the leadoff hitter, Jake Marty. It's just keeping Illinois rather in this game.
And definitely validating the decision of his manager, Dan Hartlib, to take Hoffman out of the game. Hartlib's now been at Illinois a long time, in his 15th season with the Fighting Illini. He's gotten them to the tournament 4 times. Most recently, that was 2 years ago in 2019. His best season at Illinois was their magical 2015 season, where the Illini went 50-10-1. And they made the NCAA Super Regionals that year. High watermark for them. They were the 6th overall seed in the tournament. They won their regional, then made it into the Supers. They were the home team against Vanderbilt, and they got swept in the Champaign Super Regional. Didn't end up looking so bad when Vanderbilt ended up being the runner-up in the College World Series after knocking off Illinois, but Hartlib looking to get back to that. Put together a strong team this season. They're hanging with the Michigan Wolverines, and looks like Gigani's going to be back out there for a 3rd inning of work after that long bottom of the 7th. Gigani surrendered a single and a double in each of the 2 innings he's pitched, but no damage so far, and he faces Ryan Hampy and delivers a pitch that swung on and missed for strike 1.
A very good off-speed pitch there. Had Hampy guessing and just swung at a pitch that was well in the dirt.
0-1 count. Wind up in the pitch. There's a swing and a fly ball into the gap. Moving over back towards the track, towards the wall, and that will drop against the base of the wall. Scooped up and thrown in. That'll be a double for Ryan Hampy. And now the second straight half inning where one of these teams leads off with a double. Very similar spot to where Taylor Jackson put his double in the last half inning, and now Gigani will have to pitch out of a jam. Both these offenses threatening in the last several half innings. Nobody's been able to put a run up yet. We'll see if Cam McDonald can change that. We'll see if they choose to bunt the runner over and play situationally. Justin Janis leads the team in batting average among the everyday starters. He's in the on-deck circle, and there's the bunt laid down. Gigani gets right to it. Underhand scoop. Nope, he dropped it. And that's going to be a big infield hit. Well, will probably go down as an error, but regardless, the bunt put down the line, and Gigani misplays it, and now danger time for the Wolverines.
Yeah, and it shows just how quickly a baseball game can flip on its head. Michigan had runners on second and third with 1 out. It looked like they were threatening to take a lead in this game, but now Illinois coming right back. Leadoff double and then a misplay on that bunt. And runners at the corners now. Danger time for U of M.
That'll bring Justin Janis to the plate. Catcher Mazer steps back behind the plate and will look into the dugout to get the signs how they're going to attack Janis. Ideally, they need a strikeout here. First pitch dives a little outside, 1-0.
Yeah, if you're Gigani, you're facing a lefty here. You gotta be thinking strikeout here.
Sun has now started to move right into our face here. There's a swing and a pop-up into center field. This is good distance. Moving over is Bullock, makes the play, and the throw will go into second. Illinois gets it done, and they have taken a 4-3 lead. Big sac fly there from Justin Janis.
Yeah, good piece of situational hitting there. And, yeah, unfortunate for the Wolverines, but just nice work from the Illini there.
They manufacture the run. Now a 4-3 Illinois lead. Brandon Comey 2 for 2 today with a walk comes to the plate. Gigani needs to stop the bleeding right here. Would be 2 outs and nobody on. Now the runner goes. Mazer will quickly throw down. Not going to be in time. That was a great jump. And the ball gets away from the second baseman, Bertram. Gigani just looked like he had blinders on right there. That runner was going when it seemed like he should very easily see the runner. But now another runner in scoring position. Illinois has already cashed in one in this inning to take the 4-3 lead. And again, it's been this bottom of the order that has done a lot of damage for the Fighting Illini. There's a swing and a high pop-up that will arc out of play. 1-1 count. That hit the roof, I think. Heard a big thud behind us.
Yeah, and Gigani's got to work through the bottom of the lineup now. I mean, can't really afford to let another run score and make this a 2-run ball game.
1-1 count. Pitch on the way, called strike, 1-2.
Yeah, just buckled the knees of Gomia there. Looked like he wanted to offer at it, but just couldn't pull the trigger. Very nice pitch.
One and two the count. Gigani would love a punch out in this situation. Looks back at second and now steps off. Michigan's got guys throwing in the bullpen. It's a righty. Can't see the number at the moment. Hidden behind the foul or the light pole. Trying to see if there's action in the Illinois bullpen. That pitch bounces in 2-2. The Illinois bullpen's got that wall that we're struggling to see around, and also the sun right in our face looking down that right field line.
Yeah, we're not in the best position to see the bullpens, unfortunately.
2-2 count on Comia. Gigani looks back and winds up. That pitch bounces in again. Mazer gets down in front of it well to block it. Michigan threatened in the bottom of the seventh, had runners on second and third and only one out in the inning. Could not put a ball in play. Struck out twice, Bullock and Marty, once Lavender came in. And now Illinois was able to put a ball in play with runners on the corners and no outs in the inning. Now a runner on second and one out. 3-2 on the way. Swung on and hit into center field. This one well hit, going back towards the track, towards the wall. It bounces and goes over the fence and out of play. That is a ground rule double. The run comes home, and it's now 5-3 Illini. Brandon Comia thumped that baseball, and these Illinois hitters entered the game scoring over 6 runs per game, and they are feasting here in the late innings.
Yeah, really nice swing there. I mean, 2-2 count, nice approach, and just put a laser out into left center and just hopped over the wall and gives Illinois a 5-3 lead.
And make that a 3-hit ball game for Brandon Comia. Illinois has only got 8 hits today, and 6 of them are split between 2 guys. Taylor Jackson with 3 doubles, and Comia 2 singles and a double. Those 2 have done the damage for the Illini, now with a 2-run lead for their bullpen. And Gigani has really run into trouble here in the 8th inning. Double, error, sac fly, another double. Here's a bunt laid down. That one Gigani gets to. This time he won't try and scoop it. Instead, he'll pick it up, make the throw over. Not sure why there was a bunt there, but runner moves over. Now 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, especially with one of their hottest hitters up through the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And a lefty-lefty matchup coming up.
That'll bring Jackson Raper to the plate. One argument is Raper has been one of Illinois' best hitters this season, 1 for 3 today, although it's hard to find the hitters that aren't hot in the Illinois lineup at the moment. There's a pitch that dives down and outside. 1-0 the count. Gigani steps back on the rubber. Michigan will have 2, 3, 4. Molfetta, Flores, and Mazer due up in the bottom of the 8th to try and claw back into this game. That ball fouled back 1-1, but the second run in this inning really looming large now. One count. Runner on third, 2 outs in the inning. That pitch bounces in. Mazer gets in front of it.
Yeah, he did a very nice job blocking that one and keeping it in front of him. That one was in the other batter's box.
Still someone throwing in the Michigan bullpen, not throwing off the rubber right now. He's just trotting up and tossing it, trying to stretch himself out. Can't see the number. 2-1. Pitch is high. It's still a righty out there, though. 3-1. The count now is that ball delivered to Raper. Gigani might be hitting the end of his wire at the moment. He's now approaching 40 pitches on the day. 3-1 coming. That is a ball, and now runners on the corners. With 2 outs, have to think we'll at least have a conversation between someone and Gigani. Maybe not. Mazer's come out behind the plate, but he's not going to go out and talk at the moment.
Yeah, and especially with Haza coming up, and who has put together a couple of battles so far against Gigani and
Hadger.
And Hadger, yes.
0 for 2 today is Haja, but he does have a walk. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, 5-3 Illini. It was 3-3 at the start of the inning, and things have tumbled a bit. Pitch coming, swing, and a foul. 0-1 the count. Illinois 5 runs on 8 hits. Michigan 3 runs on 5 hits. Wolverines a couple errors. Illinois 1 error. Michigan's left 4 on. Illinois has left 5 on. Illini trying not to make that number 7 with 2 on here in this inning and 2 outs. 0-1 to the 9-hitter Haja. That one bounces in, and Mazer thought about throwing down. The runner will move up, though, on the wild pitch. Had trouble getting out from around the batter right there. One of the stories of this game has been the extra base hitting for Illinois. Half of their hits have been of the extra base, or actually 5 of their 8 hits have been extra base. All of them doubles. 3 singles for their other hits. There's a swing and a chopper foul, 1-2. Gigani now 1 strike away from getting out of the inning and limiting the damage to just 2 runs. Not a great situation, but at least would give Michigan a realistic shot to try and come back into this game. But if he gives up a single here, it gets that much harder with runners on second and third and 2 outs. Haja trying to blow this game wide open. 1-2 coming. That one swing and chopped over to third. Charging across the diamond, Molfetta with a pick, not in time. That'll be an infield single, and it's now a 3-run ball game.
Yeah, and just a slow chopper there, and Haja able to leg it out. And now that brings Taylor Jackson to the plate.
Last guy you wanted to see in this situation is Taylor Jackson. 3 for 4 today with 3 doubles, and I just can't believe nobody's gone out to talk to Gigani during this inning where he has really struggled, especially the last couple hitters. Now he'll have to face Taylor Jackson. This is the 8th man to come to the plate in the inning. It started with a Hampy double.
Yeah, and now that error looming large as
yes.
This is kind of ballooned a little bit.
There's a ball. 1-0. The error was to McDonald. Hampy doubled, and Illinois went to move him over with a bunt. Gigani was going to be a close play, but he had the time, and he just fumbled the ball out of his left hand, trying to bare hand scoop it on the bunt over to first. 1-0 coming. A little high. 2-0.
And Dockich showing a lot of trust in Gigani to work out of this inning.
Gigani is still on the rubber. Winds up, 1-0 coming, swinging a ground ball, base hit through the right side. 1 run scores, and the runner from first will move up to second. Now it is a 4-run ball game, 7-3. 4 runs have come home in this 8th, and still no real action in the Michigan dugout. Everyone just standing around.
It does look like somebody is fully warming up at this point, but
now Mazer will walk out there perhaps to give some time for a reliever to come in, but this has really just gotten out of hand. There were 2 outs, and that time Only 2 runs had come in, but now a walk. And then things have gotten further than that, a single and then another single. That is now the 4th hit of the day for Taylor Jackson. 3 doubles and a single. And Illinois now has 7 runs in this game. They have surpassed their average of 6 runs per game, and that came against a day when Steve Hadger was starting. I mean, this was a really impressive Illinois offense.
Yeah, and they've put together a lot of great at-bats and made sure that they get the barrel of the bat on the ball. And
That ball hit into right field. Coming on and making the catch is the right fielder Elliott, and that'll do it. Everybody comes to the plate for Illinois. They strike 4 times and now lead 7-3. Disastrous inning for Michigan, and they now trail 7-3. We'll see how much fight the Bats have left in them. It is a long road back now. Looks like Lavender will go back out there for Illinois. And again, as we talked about earlier, just really a reversal of where this game was feeling. It was 3-3 in the bottom of the 7th. Michigan had runners on 2nd and 3rd. And they only had 1 out, just needed a ball in the outfield to take the lead. And instead, they can't get those across. And then Gigani, who had been really strong through that first 2 innings of work, just let things get away from him in this Illinois offense, doing damage right now.
We knew the Illinois offense was dangerous, and I mean, they showed us why in that inning. I mean, just sending guys up to the plate and consistently putting good swings on the ball against one of Michigan's best pitchers in Gigani. So.
Well, getting ready to go here as things will start in the bottom of the 8th inning, 7-3 game. Illinois 7 runs on 10 hits. Good efficiency there. Michigan 3 runs on 5 hits, also good efficiency. They just haven't gotten enough hits. Trying to change that. First pitch on the way. This one stroked to center field, but right at center fielder Jackson, who backs up into the shadows and makes a quick first out. Michigan's bats have been ready to swing, and they've made some decent contact in this game, but just haven't been able to find the spots, really anybody except Jimmy Obertop, who's got 3 of Michigan's 5 hits, a double and 2 homers. Outside of that, they have really struggled. Put it in the right spots. Tito Flores digs in, 1 out. 5 outs away now for Illinois. Michigan's opportunities are starting to run thin.
Yeah, they got to get something going here.
First pitch called strike. Oh, 1 count. There's a ball. 1-1.
And a good take there by Tito Flores as Lavender spun a nice breaking pitch in the dirt there, but able to lay off of it.
1-1 count. Wind up, and the pitch fouled out of play. 1-2 now. Stadium PA just trying to pump everybody up. Crowd has gone a little quiet as the Illini have surged into a comfortable lead at the moment. Michigan's hitters trying to make it less comfortable. 1-2 on the way to Flores. Swing and just gets a piece. Sun really right in our face at the moment, and it's made the shadows in the outfield more severe. The right fielder, McDonald, completely shaded by the right field scoreboard. There's a swing and a fly ball into right field. Tailing coming on. It'll drop. That'll be a base hit for Flores, and Michigan's got what they need to start a rally, which is a one-out single from Flores. That'll be Michigan's 6th hit of the day, and it'll bring Griffin Mazer to the plate. Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, Michigan, right now Michigan's just got to get base runners, and, that's easier said than done against Nathan Lavender, but you got to start somewhere, and that's a nice piece of hitting by Tito Flores with 2 strikes to go the opposite way.
1-2 was the count on that hit. Good 2-strike hitting from Flores. Now Mazer takes first pitch down and in. Elliott in the on-deck circle. But Logan Pollock, number 45, is standing in the dugout with a helmet on, and a bat in his hands to potentially come in and pinch hit for somebody. We'll see who. 1-0 is high to Mazer, now 2-0. Gotten himself ahead in the count. Coming. Swinging a ground ball foul, 2-1. Mazer's got 3 homers on the year. He could have the Illinois lead with a long ball in this situation. 2-1 the count. Michigan's gotten their first hit off of Lavender. Flores bouncing around at first. Now he'll step back to the bag.
Yeah, Flores taking not a big lead, but bouncing around over there, and that drew a throw from a curious Lavender.
2-1 count. The windup, swing and a miss. 2-2. Mazer chased on a pitch at the top of the zone, really high. Mazer checks back in. Taps the bat off the dirt. 2-2 count. The windup, fouled straight back to the screen.
Yep, just able to stay alive and hopefully keep battling and try to get something out of this at bat.
Mazer will check back into the batter's box. And a long at bat right now. The windup, the 2-2 coming. That he misses the zone to be a little high and outside. Three-two count. This one hit to left field, arcing towards the line, and it will go into the Michigan bullpen. Count will stay full. We play in the bottom of the 8th inning. Illinois scored 4 times in the top of the 8th. 7-3 game. Michigan trying to claw back. Runner on first is Flores, and now Mazer has worked a really good at-bat. 3-2 coming, and he just gets a piece. Chased a pitch well outside. That was ball 4, but he got enough of it to extend the at-bat.
Yep, I mean, would have liked to have the walk, but stayed alive, and sometimes that's all you can ask for.
He'll check back in. We'll do the full count offering one more time in just a moment. The windup, the pitch, swinging a line drive, and it's a fair ball down the left field line into the corner. Headed to third is Flores, and he will be held there. Trotting into second with a double is Griffin Mazer, and now 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out in the inning. And instead of Clark Elliott, it will be Logan Bullock ready to come in to hit now for the Wolverines. Bullock, a senior from Los Angeles, who got a few at-bats in the 2018 season, did not play in 2019, got to have 4 at-bats in the shortened season last year, did not have a hit, got his first career hit as a Wolverine earlier this season. He is 2 for 9 on the years, played in 4 games, 3 of them starts, and he comes in here in a big moment, pinch hitting for Elliott, who was 0 for 3 today. Runners on second and third and 1 out. There's a called strike. Jimmy Obertop is waiting on deck.
Yeah, if you're Michigan, you would really like to maybe get either a single or just find a way to get on base here.
If Bullock could single, that would bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Obertop, who has 2 homers and a double today, 3 extra base hits. 0-1 the count. Lavender winds up. That one is swung on and hit by Bullock in to right field. Moving over and making the play is McDonald. His throw home is offline. Run comes home. Now it's 7-4. Runner still on second. And our sac fly for Logan Bullock. And that right there is why it was rather unfortunate that the top of the 8th spiraled from Gigani so much, as that was, the potential tying run if he could have held it to 1. But with 4 runs seeded, Michigan still got to come up with 3 more here before 4 outs are recorded.
This is the man you want at the plate. He's been scalding hot today, and see if he can't keep that going.
Running around down at second is Mazer, trying to get in the head of Lavender, and time is called. First pitch coming is down and in towards the shoe tops of Obertop. 3 for 3. Homer, double.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if Lavender falls behind, if Illinois will elect to just walk Jimmy Obertop.
I don't think he would have much reason to, because even a homer here doesn't tie the game.
That is true.
Whereas a walk would put the tying run in the batter's box. There's a called strike, 1-1. Benjamin Semmes waiting on deck. It was Obertop who began last inning with the double, was stranded at third. One count. The windup, the pitch coming is low, 2-1. Obertop now up to 4 homers in 9 games to begin this season, has the team lead. Lavender came on in relief of Hoffman. 2-1 on the way. It's low, 3-1.
It looks like Lavender's kind of pitching Obertop a little bit cautiously here. Doesn't want to give him something that he can, out over the plate, that he can send over the fence and make this a 1-run game.
Well, Obertop is the lone Michigan hitter who Lavender has not seen so far in this game. It was after his double that Hoffman was relieved. Checks the runner back to second. The windup, the 3-1 coming. That's a strike towards the top of the zone. Good pitch. Now runs the count full, and he's one strike away from wiggling out of this bottom of the 8th with a 3-run Illini lead still intact. Michigan looks to have a new pitcher coming in the top of the 9th. They've had someone down there warming up for a while. "3-2 coming. That one's down and in, and that will be a ball 4. Runners on first and second, and Benjamin Sems steps to the plate. He represents the game-tying run. After Obertop works a walk, Sems not known as a power hitter, so not the ideal person to have when you need a home run, but although the argument could be that you don't need a home run, you just need someone to keep the train moving. Riley Bertram on deck if necessary. 2 on and 2 out, 7-4 game. Michigan trailing in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch coming, swing and a foul tip into the glove for strike 1. Oh, 1 count. Sems today 0 for 1. Reached base twice, once through a walk and once through a hit by pitch. That was his last time up. He was the first batter to face Lavender. Now he looks at a breaking pitch for a strike, 0-2. That's a good delivery, froze him. Now he's well behind in the count, 0-2.
Yeah, and Lavender working quickly, getting ahead of Sems, and now Sems needs to get something going.
We saw Lavender go to that breaking ball in the last inning for strikeouts, and he gets him looking right there. Looked like a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Sems caught looking. Michigan strands 2, and just haven't been able to get the big hits they need against Nathan Lavender, and now they are 3 outs away from their second loss of the season, and we'll have a new pitcher coming into the game in the top of the 9th. We'll see who that is in just a moment. Scores in the NCAA basketball tournament: Oregon State 69-56 over Tennessee. They look likely to claim an upset as the 12th seed in that matchup, and Liberty and Oklahoma State have just gotten underway 6-4. Oklahoma State in that one. Loyola Chicago defeated Georgia Tech 71-60. Scores in the Big Ten Conference: Iowa now has taken a 3-0 lead over Nebraska. And as mentioned earlier, Indiana defeated Purdue. Indiana would jump into first place in the Big Ten if Michigan loses this one today, although, again, very, very early into the season. We were going to mention earlier, 44-game conference slate this year, a little different than normal. The non-conference games that normally take up a big chunk of the schedule not able to be played due to travel restrictions, and as a result, all the Big Ten teams will be facing off against each other quite a bit this season. And so today being the 9th game in Michigan's season, not even a quarter of the way through the conference slate, this is going to be a marathon, not a sprint, in the conference schedule this year.
It looks like Michigan will bring on Will Proctor for the 9th.
Proctor has been very good so far in 2 appearances. Another transfer. He came over from Georgia.
And so far this year's 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, and 1 strikeout. So far, pitching very, very well. Nothing of note, per se.
Well, it'll be the same beginning to the inning that Gigani faced last frame when things spiraled out of control. Ryan Hampy will lead off, followed by Cam McDonald and then Justin Janis. Seven to 4. Illini Illini on top, trying to extend their advantage before they send the pitchers back out there to get the last 3 outs and start their weekend off with a victory. These teams will meet again tomorrow as there's a ball high to start the inning. Be a noon game. And this is the game that Illinois wanted to win. You come into Ann Arbor playing a top team in the conference. There's a swing and a pop-up foul. And you had your ace on the mound. The rest of the pitching staff's been pretty wobbly, but this was the game you wanted to win with your ace on the mound, and right now they're in the driver's seat. That roaring offense has come through to the tune of 7 runs on 10 hits for them here today. 1-1 pitch from Proctor. Dives down and away.
Yeah, and I got to say, I've been very impressed with the approach of the Illini at the plate. They've been very patient, but also just a thorn in basically all of the Michigan pitchers' sides, fouling off multiple pitches and just making them work no matter what.
Pitch fouled off. Count goes to 2-2. Gigani's day is done. We'll give you the final line in just a moment as Proctor is ready for the 2-2 offer. Now time comes. The line is 3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, only 1 of those earned. 1 strikeout, so won't dent his ERA too much, but definitely the 6 hits not great through 3 innings. That one swung on and hit into the outfield. Looks to be in right field. Moving over towards the track and making the play there is Clark Elliott for the first out of the inning. Have to say those first 2 innings for Gigani, very encouraging how quickly he moved through them, but then that 8th will definitely spoil his day a little bit, and it does feel a little different. Give up 4 runs, only 1 earned, but you were the reason those runs were unearned. Obviously, it was his error that helped that inning, so can't really say he was let down by his fielders. There's a called strike to Cam McDonald.
Yeah, he'll definitely be a little bit disappointed, but, I mean, still positives to take away from that outing, so.
Ground ball foul, quickly 0-2 on McDonald. His 4 strikeouts was good, the 3 walks not as good. Oh, 2 count. McDonald at the plate. Proctor winds up, and there is a swing and a miss. Good strikeout there from Will Proctor. 2 up, 2 down. Trying to get a speedy top of the 9th and let his hitters get one more chance to make up this 3-run deficit. Justin Janis will check in now. He's reached base once, 0 for 2. Walk and a sacrifice fly. He picked up the go-ahead RBI at the time last inning with that sac fly. There's a called strike, 0-1. There's another strike. Proctor working quickly, and he's pumping his balls in there.
Yeah, spun a breaking ball right into the outside corner right there. That was a very, very nice pitch.
0-2 count. The windup, the pitch. There's a swing and a miss. Gets away from Mazer. He has to throw down for it, and he does. Completes the strikeout. Look at that inning. 1, 2, 3. A pair of Ks for Will Proctor, and now we will head to the bottom of the 9th. Last call for the Michigan Wolverines. Bertram, Bullock, and Marty to begin the 9th inning. They're going to need at least 2 base runners to bring the tying run to the plate. And we'll see who they're going to have to do it against. Looks like it will still be Lavender. It's a lefty taking the mound. And indeed it will be. Lavender will go for the old multiple inning relief appearance to try and close this one out. Won't be a save because he is the pitcher of record at the moment, coming in a tie game, trying to pick up a win. Throwing those balls in.
Yeah, and the bottom of the lineup has got to get it started here if they want to have a chance to get back into this game. But I mean, against Lavender, it's going to be challenging, but just got to get some base runners, and then maybe get a little chaos on the bases and try to push a few runs across.
Now, it looks like we may have some more pinch hitters coming into this game. As Eric Bakich tries to switch things up. Looks like it'll be Teddy Burton to begin this inning. Going to be plugged in there for Riley Bertram. And there will be another pinch hitter for Christian Bullock. That'll be Danny Zimmerman, number 6, standing on deck. So 2 fresh faces will try and get things going for Michigan. See if they can find some rhythm that this lineup outside of Jimmy Obertop has struggled to find today. First pitch coming is a strike. Burton so far this season hasn't gotten a ton of work at the moment. Comes in with a .500 batting average, but very, very small sample size on that. Just 2 at-bats. The 0-1 for 2. 0-1 coming. Like he waved at that. Call strike. Now quickly ahead 0-2. Illinois had their ace on the mound, then they quickly went to a reliever they feel very comfortable in, who's had good success this year, and they've been rewarded keeping Michigan at just 4 runs through 8 innings thus far. 0-2 coming, and that one is swung on and missed. Pretty bad looking at bat from Ted Burton, and he'll sit down 1 away just like that.
Yeah, just got him with some off-speed pitches. Really, just didn't really look like Ted Burton was fully comfortable up there.
Now that'll bring up Danny Zimmerman. Zimmerman's a guy like Bullock who hadn't played much over his Michigan career. Then he got some chances last year in the shortened season. He's gotten a few at-bats so far this campaign. He's drawn 3 walks in limited plate appearances. He's got the discipline. Hasn't made contact a ton, but with 1 out here, not a bad time to try. Michigan down to their last 2 outs. There's a called strike. Lavender really locating the ball well at the moment. He's ahead 0-2.
Yeah, Lavender going right at these Michigan hitters.
The windup, the pitch, outside. Jake Marty on deck. The windup and the 1-2. Got him off speed. Wow.
That looked like a beautiful pitch there. Breaking ball, and just not really able to pull the trigger. And just kind of spun it in there right on the knees, right on that outside corner. Not much you can do with that one. And
goes down as a backwards K, and the 5th strikeout of the day in 2 2/3 innings for Lavender. There's a swing and a miss by Jake Marty. He struck out with 2 aboard in that crucial 7th inning that was really the turning point, the bottom of the 7th into the top of the 8th, where Michigan had a chance to take the lead and couldn't, and then Illinois cracked the game open in the top of the 8th. 0-1 on the way. There's a called strike right down Broadway, and now Michigan down to their final strike.
Yeah, Lavender working really quickly, making it look very simple so far this inning.
Looks like he's got a 7 p.m. dinner reservation he needs to get to. He is making no time here in this 9th inning. 0-2 on the way, swing and a miss, and look at that. A 1-2-3 9th inning with 3 strikeouts for Lavender, and that'll do it for the game here today. Michigan drops this one 7-4 to Illinois, and the Illini line up for their handshakes. Well, overall, an up-and-down day. We expected a pitcher's battle. It was until the battle of the bullpens, and Illinois' chief reliever Lavender just proved to be a little bit better than Michigan's in Gigani, and they're able to claim the win. Illinois moves to 5-4. Michigan drops their 2nd of the season. They fall to 7-2, but these 2 teams won't have long to think about this one because they'll be back at it in not much time at all. Noon tomorrow here at Ray Fisher Stadium. Any last thoughts?
I mean, Michigan played a good game. They definitely had their chances to win it, but I mean, that's what baseball is. You don't take your chances. I mean, you're gonna get burned, and that's exactly what happened. And credit to the Illini, they took their chance. I mean, got their big inning, and then Lavender just shut the door on the Michigan lineup.
Well, that is it for our coverage here today. Final score, Michigan 4, Illinois 7. Game tomorrow we will not have coverage up. We'll be back on Sunday. It'll be myself and Adam Bressler against Michigan State. And then on Monday, Charlie Brigham will be back here as well. So 3 more games coming up this weekend for Michigan baseball. From Ray Fisher Stadium and Stevie McGregor, I'm Alex Drain, leaving you with a good night and go blue.